We're going live. We're going live. We're live.
Excellent.
Hello, everyone. How the devil are you?
Good afternoon.
Finally learned how not to put easy in the stream title. Jerry, you shut your mouth. Welcome, though, by the way. Thanks for being here.
What an opening.
Yeah. How are we all doing? Yeah, we're doing repairs again today.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because
It is February 3rd, and it is the third set of repairs.
yeah, it is February the 3rd. Yeah, I found the previous two ones a bit stressful, but I think that's just because I'm not practiced at repairing live, and I think once I've done a few more of these and gotten a better handle on what to try and do live, what not to do, and when to just, if we've got a job on the go, when it's suddenly turned into a rabbit hole, and be like, no, next one, put that to one side, do that during the week kind of thing, just so I don't get bogged down on some nonsense repair. Also, maybe I've just been unlucky and had some nonsense repairs that I thought would be easy, which is definitely part of it. But yeah, like at the end of last week, I said, oh, do people enjoy these, etc. And there, we don't get a huge number of comments on the live streams, but pretty much all of the comments on last week's live streams were, I've really enjoyed these live repair ones. They've been really informative. And yeah, so fair enough, basically. I was doubting myself on that because I felt like they were very bad examples. But I think that's because so many channels that do live repair, they make it look so easy kind of thing. But then maybe that's why it was interesting, because we were showing a much more real side of repair shop work, which all of those live channels, they'll have plenty of the rabbit holes where they're like, this was a nonsense repair kind of thing.
But also a case of, based on the fact that the only live repairs I watch are pools, is the fact that obviously that's a slightly more restricted set of devices.
Maybe, yeah.
So it's just a case of kind of, sure, every MacBook in existence is still a lot of devices, but it's significantly fewer than the HPs released in 2024.
Yes, whereas, there is plenty more variety content here. So at any rate, blah, blah, blah. Yes. Hello, Graham, and your sidekick. Or something. So yes, also I'm going to carry on drinking on stream because that also apparently helps me get through them. So I think that's the other thing we've learned over the last 2 weeks is that I need to be drinking alcohol to get through these streams.
Very well.
Yeah, I will absolutely not forget to cider. No, not the battery acid.
Now we're safe.
Rachmanov. I don't. That's
Rachmanov.
Yeah, that's my best attempt at Russian. So yes, repair stream is Schadenfreude. What's Schadenfreude again?
Taking joy at other people's displeasure.
Oh, I see. Yes.
Or failure, or both. Misfortune. That's better.
Yes. Like Homer playing piano. I wouldn't say I'm better at repair when drunk, but it probably it stops me from hitting low energy quite so quick, I think. So yeah. Slows down hyperbrain, undecisiveness. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I don't think I don't know, I suppose to a certain extent it can help you focus a bit more because you get into whatever it is you're doing, but I don't think it necessarily makes me better at what I'm doing. But on the other hand, if I'm well within my skill level for the thing that I'm doing, it's okay if I've lowered my skill pointer a little bit because I'm already well within the skill level, so it doesn't matter. So, but it's not like one of those, when I was actually practiced at playing my bass guitar, I did try playing it while drunk, and I was like, no, I can't play this while I'm drunk. So that's not how that worked.
Clearly you weren't drunk enough because you realised you weren't playing well.
Maybe so, but that wouldn't solve the problem either.
I mean, it would from your own perception.
+1 charisma, -1 intelligence, yeah. Okay, right, now before I forget as well, No idea if you're watching or not, but we had a gift today. We had a gift this week from UE. It's the name is UWE, so UE. Either way, hi from Pineberg.
I'd go with Pineberg.
Pineberg. Hi from Pineberg, Germany. Love your YouTube content. Thank you so much. Your background seems to suffer from some deterioration, meaning the mouse mat on the bench. So enjoy a new one. Best regards from UE. And they bought a new one of the mouse mat that I use on the workbench. Now, this is slightly awkward because after this is
slightly awkward because it's covering my face.
This is slightly awkward because after I got this one, as soon as I sort of got it, I was like, I'm not going to buy this one again because it's too bright. So when I unboxed this and saw it, I was like, that's really sweet of you, but I don't want to use this mouse mat again on camera because it's too bright. However, what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to take this one home, use it at home because I fancy a change, and bring my home one in and put that one on the bench because that's a dark mouse mat. So thank you very much all the same. As I say, I think I'm going to use it at home, bring the dark one in. Ultimately, the long-term one is to get an actual adamant IT one, but something, where's the merch, Graham?
Yes.
I don't want to talk about this anymore. So thank you very much, UE. Much appreciated. I might just put this on the desk while we're probably going to make a mess with this one,
yes.
So I won't quite yet, no.
No.
So yes. All right. Sai says, well, where is the merch? Right, so you can't wear it as a hat. It's true. But yes, it's a nice mouse mat. I like it. It was just too bright on camera, though. Yeah, the top part of it, by the time I got the studio lights pointing at it, it's just a white flashbang at the top of the screen. That one has actually become less bad over time because it's dirty. And it's actually one of the reasons why I haven't just thrown it in the washing machine, because you can chuck a mouse mat in a washing machine and it will come out nice and clean. And then all you've got to do is just dry it again. Yeah, the only reason why I haven't washed that one is just to deliberately keep it a little bit grubby and dim. Anyway, where is the merch? So yes, right. Soren did a PCBWay sponsor. I still need to get hold of them as well. Man, I wonder if everyone else is contacting PCBWay and they just haven't emailed me. Like, have they been reaching out to PCBWay asking for sponsorships, or have I just been snubbed? PCBWay, what the hell? I'm right here, man.
I'm right here. I haven't checked my emails in 2.5 months, I'm here.
If you have been emailing me, then you need to email me again, but put the subject in like block capitals and like call me and tell me you've sent me an email or something. You know?
I mean, I've been writing, but you still ain't calling.
Yeah. Cool. Right. Done with those. Right. Let's start working on something. So, you're looking pensive.
I don't know what's going to happen.
Okay. All right. I thought we were going to start on this hard drive. This hard drive has been kicking around here for a while. It's got a snapped off SATA connector, and we were going to hot snot a. Well, I think we're going to hot snot. Yeah, we're going to glue a SATA cable onto it, because when you break off a SATA connector like this, the solution to that is just to bend the pins in such a way that you can position a plug on there and they're contacting, and then you glue it on, basically. And then you never take that cable out ever again. So that's what we were going to do with this one, and then lob it in the computer.
The hard computer.
Yes, because it's an 8 terabyte hard drive, so it's kind of worth saving.
And also it just means you get rid of 2.
Yes, and it means that I can pull out the 2 Western Digital greens, which are slow as balls. It's astonishing how bad those WD greens are. They're horrendous. So yeah, so I thought we'd get that started. Yeah, part of me kind of wants to CA glue that on, but hot glue gun is better because if it doesn't work, you can actually remove it again.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Also, Mike Visions, thank you very much for the £2. Good afternoon, guys. Looking forward to this. Much appreciated. Oh, there's a heart there now. Can I click on that heart? Is that a thing I can do? I hearted it. There we go. Thank you very much for the £2. Much appreciated.
I like the fact that you got a notification just as you clicked the heart. So it sounded like clicking the heart sent a notification to you.
It's like, yes, I know. I was there when it happened. Yeah.
You hearted a comment.
Unpaid or unraid? It's true. Let's see. You like to make a wedge out of plastic to bung in the hold. Interesting. Yeah, that could work. The 3 terabyte greens were awful. Had like 40% failure rate within 3 years. Yeah, these ones are 4 terabyte and they seem to be reliable. They're just slow. You know, like they seem to be limited to about 100 megs a second, which for desktop hard drives is pretty awful. So, yeah. Retro or New says, you got caught out by not checking today. Built an AMD desktop with a 3200G and an ASRock A520M. Guess which CPU is not supported? Is that as in like needs a BIOS update or just straight up not supported?
Yeah, the 5 series chipsets do not support 1 or 2000 series.
Oh yeah, because I'm surprised they've
possibly the 3000 series APUs as well.
Yeah, I was going to say obviously the 3200G is secretly a Zen Plus core, but I'm surprised that it doesn't have an exception, but just for being a 3000 SKU kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, 3000 APU just not supported. Yeah. Oh, that's a bummer. Yeah. That is unlucky because I would easily have made that mistake. Yeah, I definitely would have ordered that without checking and just assumed it would work. Yeah, that's a bit sucky. Unfortunate. Let's see. Just a question for how long the snot glue will hold. Yeah, I mean, we've done this a couple of times. We've done this on 1 or 2 of your hard drives.
On a couple of drives, yeah.
Yeah, and like have you?
They're fine as long as you don't need to. As long as the computer doesn't need to move and stuff.
Yeah, it's just a matter of fit and forget. Like you glue it in place, put it in the computer, and then never touch it again, basically.
Yeah, and it's just a case of obviously it falls apart after a few years, but it's just a fact of. You pick some of it off, you redo it, and
you glue it again. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
But obviously, it's a case of it's absolutely not usable if it's broken.
Yeah. Yeah. My vision says use WD Green in your NAS machine. Interesting. I mean, if you've got a couple of them in RAID, it probably adds up. Or failing that, if it's over a network, the hard drive transfer speed is probably less bottlenecking, because like 100 megs a second, that's how much you'll get over gigabit Ethernet, isn't it? Approximately.
Yeah, roughly.
So yeah, if your NAS is gigabit Ethernet, you're probably not really maxing out the drives anyway. So it's probably not so bad. But when the drive is local and you're trying to transfer over SATA and you're typically backing up from SSDs, getting bottlenecks down to 100 meg is pretty painful.
Yeah.
I mean, it functions and it's not the end of the world because like those Western Digital Greens, they're used for just like black hole just dump stuff here storage, so like they don't need to be fast, but it's just annoying that when I do want to dump something there, they're writing at 100 megs a second, and I'm like, typically when I am writing to them and I'm waiting for it so I can then unplug a drive and walk away, so nah.
Yeah.
But yes, 125 megs a second, yeah, on a good day, I bet.
Yeah, but it's just a case of, it's that 100
that's probably,
megs region.
Yeah, that's probably 125 meg by spec, but by the time, like, if the drive has got any fragmentation on it whatsoever, you're going to lose some of that immediately if you're not religiously defragging them and stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Good. Right, I'm going to quickly grab the hot glue gun from the back room.
Very well.
Whoop. And the glue gun.
Oh yeah, because all the pins are just all on the bottom. So actually,
yeah, that's right. So we've just got to. I'll get the camera straightened up just so I can show people the technique for this because it's a good bodge. Oh, it's already plugged in. Good.
Yeah, it's all plugged in.
Right. If I just go to.
Oh, I've actually latched it. because there's still the edge there.
Yeah.
And because this is one of the locking ones,
yeah.
I'd put it under the edge and into that tooth there. So it just caught, and I was just like,
Right, if I bench cam with face.
Oh, that's the wrong way around. Hold on. I will, before you turn it on, I'll just twist the camera by 90 degrees because it's the wrong way around.
All right. Yeah, let's come off of that view then, and let's go to studio mode so I can preview. Nice. Let's have the controller. Okay.
There we go.
Right, bench cam with face.
Pow.
And we're going to go whoop and whoop. Just nudge that straight. No, too far. Lower.
There you
go. Lower. Too low. All right. Good. Right. Get out my way. I'm sitting over here now.
Okay.
Oh, you're going to go slow, aren't you? Yeah.
No, I was just grabbing all the bits.
Oh, okay.
I have my drinks. I have the things.
Redeem that hydrate, everyone. Use your channel points. There aren't any channel points and there aren't any redeems. It's a Twitch joke for people who hang out on Twitch and watch VTubers who all have the mandatory hydrate redeems because no one can think of anything else to use.
Because everyone is also terrible and just never drinks any water.
Yes, that as well. I am no exception to this.
Graham.
Yeah. No benign, yeah. Let's see. Yep, you're right. You just back up your raw videos for editing at a later date. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. You hate watching people trying to solder onto those pins rather than using the glue method. Yeah, like it's not a terrible idea. I understand why people.
Onto them.
Yeah, like you could. I guess you could strip a SATA cable and just solder the pins on, and like I guess you could do something that works there and would probably be a more permanent fix.
Interesting.
But I guess it depends. Like if I, well, no, even if I was doing this for a customer, I would still just hot snot and I would just say to the customer, you know, look, I've hot snotted this in place. Fit it and then don't touch it, basically.
This will also just kind
like
of a
this
case
is
of
assumed to be an unreliable drive at this point, you know. So yeah, just going to punch down a little bit more. Replace the SATA port from a spare drive. You could, but then you've got to find a drive that's got the same port on it and stuff. And you know, like the plastic, the actual port is not a standard shape. It varies, so you'd have to find another one of these Toshiba drives that had failed and just. I don't know. It feels like a lot. Like there are lots of solutions to this, I suppose. But considering it's also the fact of like, what's the drive worth? You know, how much money are you spending on this? You know, considering in the majority of cases, it's just a best effort repair. Just hot glue it, basically.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is. I'm just going to make sure these pins are lined up, and I'm just going to grab some tweezers and just, whoops, yeah, if you could aim the camera back a little bit as well. Also, I don't know what the white balance has done here, but it's pretty cold. I'll let you fiddle with that.
I was also just going to push the exposure up a bit because it was going very dark.
I see, yeah. Right, grab that. Thank you. Right, I'm just going to fish any more bits of broken plastic out from this just so they're not getting in the way. Yeah, I think that was a bit. I think that's about it. I just saw one bit that was going. Meh. Yeah. So what you want to do is we want to make sure that these pins are nice and straight, and then you basically want to just flush bend them. Make sure that they're just all bent down slightly toward the bottom of the drive, so that way, when we get our SATA cable and we put that in place, that's going to be pushing up on the pins, and that makes sure that the pins are actually contacting properly. So we're going to put that in place and then just basically, yeah, hot snot it in. I'm going to grab a SATA power cable and just put that in as a block just to make sure that I don't get glue around the SATA power connector and block that off.
And then accidentally glue a power cable to it as well.
Yes. Sort of. Right. Put that on. I haven't done this for a while. I'm just like, how did I do this again? Right, so I'm going to put that on there, push it up, and that's basically just going to go there. So now I just need to hot glue that. So, yeah, I'm just like, where am I actually going to fit the glue in? I guess I just, here goes nothing, I guess. It's been a while, and now I'm just like, how did I do this again? Put some there. Oh, This feels gross and terrible. Right, I'm going to spot that in place. This initial glue is just to hold it in position. I'll let that go cold and then I'll find, I think it's from the bottom is where I get more glue in there. So this initial bit will just hold it in place though.
Yeah.
Extra cooling. Oh yeah, I think I usually do this from the bottom. Right, and now, oh god, what is...
Basically just flood fill.
Yeah, this glue gun is terrible. I need to stop using it. Yeah, and I'm just basically just going to make sure there is some glue down there. Hello, glue gun. There we go. Right, so I put some glue on there. Now I'm going to grab my back of the tweezers and just push that in there, basically. Spread it like peanut butter jelly.
Sure.
Do it like you're sharing some money.
I feel like this is some sort of animated television reference.
It's the peanut butter jelly song.
Okay. Away at, away at.
All right. I think that'll do. So obviously, you know, if you try and bend that, it's going to break off, you know, so don't test it to destruction. However, the point is that's held in place enough that we can now just plug that into a computer and that's going to work. So I guess we'll plug it into a computer and see if it works. So, right. What the hell did I just tune into?
Yeah.
Ew, please make a wedge. I refuse. It's done. It's on. It's in. All right. Oh, God. Stop. You know, I think it's these glitter glue sticks, because I seem to remember that this thing has been terrible since I started using the glitter glue in it.
That was your choice, man.
Yeah, and like the glitter glue isn't even nice. It looks terrible.
This one is not even close.
No, I know. It's just, it loses all colour once it's been heated. Oh well. Okay, right. I'm going
glitter, the herpes of arts and far. Arts and crafts.
Yes, I see.
Arf and far. English is a third language.
Schadenfreude or something.
Ah, yes, the Schadenmaiden.
Okay, right. So, yeah, we may as well pull out both the greens.
And pull out the bottom drive as well.
Yeah.
Because we want to put this in the bottom position.
Yes.
And then move whatever the bottom one is up one. Hot swap.
Don't do that.
Super schnelles Spiel.
I see. Why is that? Oh, that's just a HP charger. Okay.
Pinky in the Brain, or whatever the title was. Plot to take over the internet again.
Indeed. Right. That's so. The WD red is on the bottom, so that's got to come out because we're putting this one in at the bottom where it's out of the way.
So you're least likely to want to unscrew that. Are you sure the red's at the bottom?
Yes.
Oh, because the 2 matching serial number stickers are the bottom 2.
Either that or the dust has made the colour green look like the colour red. No, I was right. A vindication.
It's just that these stickers are very similar between that green and this red.
I like it how you grabbed the drive out of my hand, like, I don't believe you!
No, because of that sticker. The one on the back, not the top one.
Mm. I tell you,
how old is this?
It's ancient. I bought that in 2016, maybe?
Manufacture date, April 2017. Yeah.
2017?
Yeah.
That's impossible. Because I took that to Buck 2016.
Well, the date is 6th of April 2017.
Maybe there was a different one. My memories are fake. I'm not going to think about that because I'm just going to get confused.
Who am I?
Yeah, suffice to say, I'm extremely confused by that, and I'm just like, whatever. Either way, that drive has been a heckin' trooper. Yeah. As I say, this drive has been the workhorse backup drive of this shop since manufacture, and it's still a cracking good drive. So yeah.
As Greg says, getting old is heck.
Yeah. When are you, Graham? I'm very confused because, as I say, that drive was purchased for an event that definitely happened later than 2017.
Earlier.
Earlier. So I'm very confused. Whatever. There's the other 8 terabyte Toshiba. So, okay, right.
So where's the other green?
That's already come out at some point, so that's just around somewhere. Fine. It's probably in the box of dead hard drives. All right.
Screw you!
Okay, so that's going in there then.
Are you going to push the cable underneath?
Probably could. Let's see how that works. I need to tension it just right so it's not pulling it out.
Yeah.
But just yeah. Not sure about this. No, I don't like that.
Maybe we just found out you're a time traveller.
Very confused. I'm trying not to think about it because I'm just like, no, I remember. It's fake. It's not real.
Help me! I've Mandela'd myself.
Yeah, there must have been 2 of them. Yeah, because like it was for either 2016 or 2014 when I bought one of those drives, because it was purchased for an event. So that drive must have been sold or used somewhere else and another one purchased at some point. And I'd just forgotten that it had been replaced.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's been a workhorse, so yeah. It's a good drive.
Good drive, good drive.
Good, okay, right. Let's put the other Toshiba on top of that then, and then we'll stick the red at the top.
Polystyrene squeaks intensify.
Yeah. Good. What kind of Toshiba drive is that?
They're N300s, aren't they?
Yes.
Yeah, I can't actually remember.
Yeah. I have no idea what the specification of them are because I don't care about hard drives, basically. This is the only place where I actually still use any hard drives. In fact, this is the only computer I own that has hard drives in it. Just simply because...
Have you got rid of the ones from home?
Yeah, my home PC is all solid state. And yeah, like I wish that I'd swapped this out to SSDs while the prices were low, because there were like at one point 4TB SSDs were sub 200, I think, if my memory serves me.
They were like 350, 360.
Were they? Oh,
yeah.
maybe I'm just thinking of the 2TB that got down to like 160 or something like that. But either way, yeah, at one point SSDs got low enough that I was umming and ahhing about just converting this thing to solid state storage. But I kind of just didn't bother because I didn't.
That needs to go in the other way around.
Oh yeah, thank you. But I kind of didn't bother because I kind of didn't need to, and now prices have gone through the roof, and I'm like, oh, I'm sad now. So.
Yeah, I'm imagining at some point we'll see 4TB drives actually come down again.
I mean, I'm sure they will at some point, yeah. I don't know what the story is with current SSD prices. I'm just kind of slightly annoyed because I can't remember who it was, but someone foresaw this. It might have been Floor Lamp said, oh, NAND is going up in price next year. But I forget. But someone did call it in the Discord. They were just like, yeah, NAND's going to go up. And I was just like, well, if it does, whatever. And then it went up, and I'm like, now I wish I'd stocked up on SSDs.
Yeah.
But yeah, 4TB NVMe Crucial was 180.
Really?
Ah, yeah, there you go. I thought so.
Oh,
yeah.
wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I thought they
maybe
hung
maybe
annoyingly high.
Yeah, maybe you were looking at like Samsung's or something like that.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I just thought that the 4TB ones were nasty prices.
There we go. That seems to be holding. Oh, you know, I'm going to just see if that will thread. Oh. Yeah, it gave me a jump then. I just heard a noise and was like, ugh. And I was like, it's just the spring, it's fine. Can I thread that through in some kind of not horrible way?
Just want to make sure you don't block the screw.
Yeah. I don't think that's serving any purpose to thread it through like that. Right, I'm just going to do a quick test fitting of this. When the rails aren't lining up and you're just like, just go, just go, just go. All right. No, that thread through is not good. That's just going to put the cable under a lot of tension. Out, pull out, pull out. Well, this is a good test of strength anyway. The fact that it hasn't come off means that it's obviously on semi properly.
No sigh. Oh, you can still get the P3 Plus 4TB for £190.
Oh, is that confirmed? I saw someone say 189 just then. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Interesting.
Yeah, see, that's still kind of tempting. It's just the low capacity drives that have gone up in price then, it seems. If that's the case. And like, they haven't gone up by a devastating amount. It's just an annoying amount for shops like me, where adding another sort of 10 or 15 quid onto the price stacks up when you're buying them at 5 or 6 at a time. All right.
Oh, no idea how good it is. Silicon Power, 4TB SSD, £189.99 as well. Transcend 4 terabyte, 196. PMY XLR 8, 4 terabyte, 196.
Yeah, reviews required there, I think.
So yeah, there are a couple around at that price. Kingston MB2 4 terabyte, 200 quid. Yeah, so there are a couple of different brands at that sort of price.
Fair enough. Right, I'm going to crack open a cold one. And by crack open a cold one, I mean I'm going to crack open a room temperature one.
Well, yeah, a cold one.
It's chilly in here.
It's in here.
Right, great success. Oh, we should probably check if that hard drive, works.
Yes, I was waiting for that. Sorry, 16 terabyte hard SSD for £2,500.
What form factor is that?
2.5 inch.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, one of them.
Is that just regular SATA?
I don't know. Apparently so, yes.
Yeah.
Apparently it's regular SATA.
That's kind of interesting because, obviously, it's horrifying because it would take ages to fill it up and stuff like that. But that's kind of interesting that you can get that kind of data density in a quote-unquote ordinary drive.
Yes.
SATA 6 gig, yeah. Because, that doesn't require any kind of exotic hardware to interface with or anything like that. Hypothetically, I could just put one of those in here and bam, 16 terabytes of solid state storage for
16 hours of solid writes.
Oof. Disk management. Tell me your secrets. All right, this is uninitialized. Is that what we're expecting?
I don't know. Is it?
Well, it's uninitialized, so... right, let's see. Backups, that's the existing 8 terabyte. Old backups, that's the red, and an 8 terabyte uninitialized drive. I will try initializing it. I assume there's no data on here that you... Okay, well... Sign the drive letter, NTFS, new volume, quick format. I guess I'll fire up CTools and just bash it over the head with a quick generic. I'm not going to do a long generic. We'll be here all week, but...
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, if it gets through a quick generic, that's a pretty good confidence test. And I don't know which one it is, so I guess I'm just going to quick test... I'll just quick test all of them. Why not? Off they go.
Oh no, they are literally the same part number and everything.
Yeah, you'd have to check the serial numbers on them. But yeah, off they go.
Just because all of them are going at once.
I don't hate the sound of hard drive seeking. I hate the sound of hard drive spin. But seek noise, I don't mind. Spin up is cool, but just the background noise of hard drives is annoying. It's one of the things I like about SSDs is just silent operation.
And this is the part we find where the red has failed. And it's like, oh.
Yeah. Well, that much being said, the red hasn't been the main. The red hasn't been the main backup drive for a while now. The Toshiba that was already in there has been. So yeah. Okay.
We'll need to copy the stuff off for green.
Yeah.
At some point.
Where did I put it?
It's there. So
yeah. I'll move that off there now, just so that's done. Yeah. Let that spool up.
Yeah.
Those have gone. Yeah. Both the Toshibas have got through a short generic.
Yeah.
The red's just finishing up. So then I'll start transferring. So yeah, people who are saying crystal disk and stuff like that, I'm not going to bother too much just because, we've no reason. I mean, I guess I might leave them running long generics over the weekend just to check all the drives that are in there. Yeah. But we've no reason to believe there's a problem with them, basically. Other than having a snapped off connector, there were no known issues with the drives. So yeah, I might long generic them just to sanity check, but yeah. All right. want to re-upload my Raptor booting up video. I think. Well, if you want to, I'm not going to check it now. But right, backing back up to the top of the chat to catch up.
I had 2 of those Velociraptors, both the 5.25 inch one and the one that was the 2.5 inch in a 5.25 enclosure.
Yeah, I have
an 80 gig and a 250 gig.
Yeah, I have one of the 3.5. You mean? I had one of the 3.5 inch ones at one point, the 10k RPM 3.5 inch ones. I was running that in my XP machine that had like a 10-second boot up time.
Yeah.
So yeah, those were pretty cool. Right, Paul Valente says, do you do console modding service? No, I don't know anything about console modding at all, if I'm honest. The only console work I'm doing at the moment is HDMI ports, and I'm kind of settling down into just sticking to that.
Would you do like USB port and stuff?
Probably, yeah. Yeah, I think I'm just going for console stuff. I'm going to limit it to something that doesn't require diagnostics per se, because it doesn't require me to learn how the console works, which I don't really want to do.
Yeah.
You know, for stuff like weird disk drive issues and stuff like that, the retro gaming shop that opened on the high street just before Christmas. I was talking to the chap there on Thursday, and he's going to start doing some repair work and like phone repair work and stuff like that. But he's not super interested in doing stuff that requires soldering. So I was like, cool, we seem to have an accord then, because I can't be asked to do diagnostic work on consoles. You don't want to do soldering. Looks like we can divvy up the work quite well between us.
And I imagine that obviously if he works out something needs soldering on there, you could do it.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah.
I will blindly replace this part for you because you've asked me to.
Yeah, pretty much that. Yeah, because it doesn't take diagnostics to look at a HDMI port and see that it's been mangled. So the red drive is very old and had plenty of use. Well worth checking the smart data. Smart is a barometer, you know. It doesn't really mean anything. For me, I do generic sector scans, basically. If the drive comes up with bad sectors, it's bad. If it doesn't come up with bad sectors, then it's good enough, is the way that I class it. But yeah, smart data is really... And the other issue as well with smart data is I could check the smart data, but then I'm going to have to check with someone who's familiar with the drive, because smart data is not standardized and the numbers are all nonsense. So you kind of have to talk to someone and say, does this smart data look okay? You know, the only other exception is if smart has actually been tripped or not, and then you might want to pay attention to it. And again, it's only a barometer, and smart has not been tripped because I get a BIOS notification about that. So,
HDD scan looking at the color cubes for fun.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yay, colors.
Yeah. Is there an app that reads smart in a way idiots can understand? No, that's kind of the problem. Yeah, smart is just, like I say, it's kind of a barometer. And as far as I'm concerned, smart can be useful for SSDs when you can't really do a sector scan, because SSDs don't have sectors. So a sector scan doesn't mean anything on an SSD. It's virtual sectors. So if you're trying to diagnose if an SSD is bad or not, the smart numbers might help you gauge the health of the drive, such as checking how many CRC errors it's encountered and stuff like that. It could tell you if it's encountered problems. Although even as we discovered last week when we were looking at that BX500, that BX500 is probably fine, but it was connected to a laptop that was having a bad time, so the disk had recorded a whole bunch of CRC check errors, but we came to the conclusion that that was very likely the chipset on the laptop, not the drive itself.
Yeah. Have you used that drive again?
Not yet, but I'm gonna cycle it into something at some point and put it in a low priority device and just see if it's fine, basically.
Yeah.
And I would wager it's gonna be just fine.
Yeah.
So again, at that point, smart would tell you that drive is bad, but as we discovered, it's probably fine. So yeah, smart is just not helpful. For a hard drive, sector scan is far more informative in my opinion, because a sector scan is just, when you do a sector scan, it reads every sector on the drive and measures how long it took to respond. If the sector took too long to respond, it assumes that there's a problem with the disk there, and then you have a failure. And there are some people who are like, oh, you can then do a sector repair. No. If you have any bad sectors, the drive is failing, you throw it out. Yeah. Because if you started encountering bad sectors, more will follow. So for hard drives, a sector scan is very slow, but it will give you a pretty good indicator of drive health. And then the only other thing that I would do is, like, I've seen hard drives where they pass a sector scan, but they just don't feel right. And at that point, just doing a data transfer will tell you a lot about it. If you've got a desktop hard drive that is topping out at 40 megabytes per second, it's probably knackered, because the drive, a laptop hard drive should be doing 100 and a desktop drive should be doing 150 to 200. So yeah. And Reploid says if it reaches 4 to 5 use, just start having a backup just in case. I mean, never not backup would be my response to that. But also there are plenty of people, like, you're a big believer in just if it's 3 years old, you change it out.
Yeah, I generally swap it when I can buy a drive that's twice the capacity for the same amount of money, basically. But I didn't do that. I didn't do that recently, only because I got the 8 terabyte drives and then an 18 terabyte drive popped up for functionally the same money. And I was just like, oh, I guess I'm just going to consolidate onto one drive now.
That's fair, yeah.
And then also just a case of I stopped storing most of what I'm storing anymore.
Yeah. Retro News says, are you using the Insta360 link as the overhead these days? Yes, this overhead camera here is the Insta360 link. I have 2 of these. This is the one that is the main bench cam for all the mainline videos. And there is another one on the monitor over there that I use as my face cam. So I have 2 of them now. And they are the 2 main cameras I use. And I'm very, very satisfied with them. I owe Insta360 a video about some of the other stuff I've had from them, including the selfie stick gimbal that I've got. However, the Insta360 links, best web cameras I've used. They are very expensive, but they're worth every penny if you need a good webcam. So yeah, like, unironically, best webcams I've ever used. So yeah, big thumbs up for those. And also, Michael, I think, for Tritz says, is there a program to exist for changing the disk parameters to reset them to 0? Not that I'm aware of. I believe they're hard-coded. Like, I don't think you can edit smart data. But also, like, the only possible reason why you might want to do that is if you're trying to conceal a drive's history, and I can't see any legitimate reason why you'd want to do that. That much being said, that BX500 has a whole bunch of CRC errors on it, which probably are not real errors. So it would kind of be nice to reset that, I suppose. But I guess, to my knowledge, no. But it's difficult to come up.
That basically no one looks or cares.
I was going to say, however, even if you had a legitimate reason, my answer to that would be, don't bother anyway, because no one who matters is ever going to look. So, yeah.
Yeah, you'd basically just be rewriting the firmware on it in some capacity, I'd imagine.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, as Firephone says, doing a 4 terabyte China SSD jobby.
Yes.
Where in actual fact it's a 32 megabyte CF card.
Yeah, have I still got it? I think I gave it back to the customer.
Did they buy like an 18 terabyte SSD for £14?
Is this it? No, that's another custom one. Yeah, no, I had a customer who'd bought a, I forget what capacity it claimed to be. It might have just been 1 terabyte. It was either 1 or 2 terabyte SSD. It was a USB external. It was in a USB external enclosure, and they were using it for Time Machine, and it was kind of slow and unresponsive. And from the weight of it, I was like, well, that's definitely an SSD in that enclosure. It's not a 3.5-inch drive. And I was like, and it just feels disgustingly lightweight, and no decent brand is going to put their thing in a consumable enclosure. I'm kind of worried about this. So, and when I opened it up, sure enough, in this USB 3 enclosure, there was immediately an adapter down to a USB 2 mini connector, which then had connected to it a recycled, reconditioned China trash bin special flash drive connected to it. As so it was like, it was one of the worst of one of these fake drives, and I was like, oh, that's heartbreaking. And when the customer, I said to the customer, the drive is crap, we need to replace this, and he was like, okay. So we replaced it, and I said, like, oh, where did this come from? Where did you get it? And he's like, got it from Amazon. I was like, was it cheap? And he was like, not terribly. And I was like, well, we've replaced this now, thank you very much, bye. Because I kind of didn't want to rub in the fact that he probably spent like 60 or 70 quid on this piece of trash and basically got had. So, yeah.
Try and return it.
Caveat emptor, or however that phrase goes.
Yeah. My comment is always a case of just try and return stuff. Always try and return stuff. The worst they can do is say no.
I guess, yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
Wi-Fi cards?
I was about to say, I'm going to start looking at this one. Need to scan through the chat and find stuff. Oh, there's a Pianov. Hello. You can do some stuff through terminal access, although with newer drives it's always locked. This is regarding smart things, I assume. That's interesting.
Back
yeah.
in days of,
I'm annoyed at the error log having insignificant error, and HP boards always complaining at boot. Fair. You did clear smart on a 7212. Okay, yeah, that's fair. Right. I'm going to get Caradog to skim through the chat in a sec, but I'm just going to quickly update. This is another HP Chromebook. This has got Wi-Fi problems. I'm just going to turn it on and confirm. If my memory serves me, this doesn't see Wi-Fi networks. So I'm just assuming that the Wi-Fi card in it has died or is just not properly functional. So I've got a couple of other Wi-Fi cards here. I know this does actually have a discrete Wi-Fi card in it, which is uncommon. A lot of Chromebooks have integrated Wi-Fi. But this one I've already checked and it is discrete. So one of these Wi-Fi cards is probably going to fit, and I'm just going to swap the Wi-Fi card out. So, right.
Oh God! Site says that for those like fake drives, some of them come with multiple flash drives or SD cards in them, so they look like several drives to the PC.
Oh, gross. Yeah, it's the first. I've seen these. I've heard of these fake drives many times, but it's the first time that one has actually come into the shop and I've actually seen one and been like, "Oh God, they're real!" Like I knew they were real, but now I've seen one that's real, and it doesn't even have the lead weight in it.
There.
All right. Okay, this is now saying it's seeing Wi-Fi networks.
Does the Insta have a standard screw mount? I can't remember
does,
if it's
yes.
Is it actually the standard one?
Ooh, hang on a minute. Yes, it does have a standard. What's the standard size one? 1/4 inch, is it?
3/8 something. Yes.
Some American nonsense, but yes, the standard screw mount that you see on small cameras and such. Yes, it has that on. Let me just quickly grab the other one, and then
on the foot.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Sorry, I've seen 16 terabyte fake drives showing us 4 times 4 terabyte drives in Windows, being a USB 2 hub with 4 flash drives wedged into it.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Right. Bench cam. There we go. Here's the one. Here's the other one that I use for the face cam. So yeah, that's the Insta360 link, and there's the screw mount on the bottom. This bit hinges out, so that's the sit on monitor hook mount, and then the screw mount is there. So you can fold that in and screw it onto something. You can hook it onto the top of the monitor, or like the way that this one is currently mounted, I've got that bit folded out and we've just got a clamp holding onto it like that, which is another way of using it. And that's the way I actually use it, because then that gives me some adjustment like that, which allows me to just adjust it so the gimbal is at a position that it's comfortable with and gives a decent range of movement. Because obviously it wants to be the right way up. However, if you have it pointing down like that, it will still just make sense of its surroundings. It's pretty versatile. You do lose some range of movement if you have it at a weird angle. You will find that it will only go so far. However, it's pretty decent at making sense of whatever weird angle you've put it at. And one of the nice things about it is, because it's self-righting, I don't have to agonizingly make sure that the mount is straight anymore. The only thing that we might have to do, which you spotted us doing with this one earlier on, is obviously you have to do a little bit of pan and tilt to make sure that it's looking straight down and it's rolled at the correct angle, if you see what I mean, because it doesn't know what angle the table is at. But yes, it's they're very, very good cameras. Just putting that on there before I forget. Boop. There we go. All right. Okay, right. This thing has picked up a wireless network and it seems to be holding it as well, which is a bit meh, because I seem to remember it just dropped Wi-Fi at some point. Oh, I don't know what to do about this now.
Ah, wrong way.
Because it's just seeing networks and doesn't seem to have an issue.
Did you ever get anything like an affiliate link with Instalink?
Yes, I think I do actually. I'd have to look up the details. It might even be on the. I mean, if you're interested in buying one of the Link cameras, it might. I think I may even have a affiliate link on the review for that. If you find the review video for the Insta360 Link, there may well be an affiliate link in the description. Failing that, if you're buying from Amazon, I can certainly do you an Amazon link, which is also good enough. Okay, right. This is not dropping the wireless, so I'm kind of...
Move the screen around to see if it's breaking the actual Wi-Fi cable.
Could do, yeah. I'll quickly do that in a sec. Then failing that, what I might do is I might just change it anyway. Because while it's working now, so I've got a smudge on my glasses that's being stubborn.
Do you want an actual cloth?
I've got a t-shirt. What's wrong with you? Oh, that'll do. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna change it anyway.
Oh my god!
Because I know it definitely wasn't working when it came in, because I remember distinctly looking at it on the counter and going, "Oh yeah, that's not working." So I'd imagine that. Oh, I forgot to. Fine. I'll change it and then I'll do some more testing on it. It's going to need more testing anyway. It's possible that it conks out after the laptop has warmed up or something. Oh no! Oh no!
Yeah.
Hang on a sec. Can we quickly?
Si posted a link to that in the
yeah.
Discord.
Hang on a sec. Just for the sake of the people on thing. External hard drive, everyone. Okay.
That's approximately terrible, and I hate all of it.
Hub raid. It's a HP. Which way is the wind blowing? Yeah, big mood. Yeah, if my memory serves me, it would initially connect and then almost immediately just disconnect and then not see wireless networks. And you'd have to turn Wi-Fi off then on again, and then it would suddenly find networks again. That's what I seem to remember it doing when it came in and I looked at it over the counter with the customer. So that's why I got the feeling of bad Wi-Fi card, because that tends to be what bad Wi-Fi cards do, is they'll connect and then they'll just drop the network and not do anything else until you turn it off and on again. So
interesting.
I'm just going to try and change it anyway. Yeah.
Si says that the antenna breaks in the hinge reasonably often. So, interesting if true.
Yeah, I mean, bearing in mind that when it's on the counter, the router is under the counter. So even if the antenna broke and it suddenly got terrible signal, that wouldn't stop it from seeing networks altogether. We just might see awful reception.
What would happen if you shorted the two halves of the antenna together effectively?
Again, I think you just get terrible reception.
Yeah.
I don't think it'd stop it from working. Hello, Paige, how you doing? So yeah, with the pending updates for the Wi-Fi driver, it's a Chromebook, so I can't see a world where that's the case. So yeah, anyway, there's our Wi-Fi card, so I'm just going to swap this out. What is that? It's an Intel.
We're going to go for a zoom in and enhance. Whee.
Go to maximum over zoom and have all of the film grain. There we go. It's not poor quality, it's film grain, it's cinematic.
Hold on, we can resolve this. Where was the ISO setting? There we go.
Oh no.
I do like the fact though that you can just be like, I wish to change the shutter speed.
Yes. Something about flicker warnings because yeah, 1100 is the only thing I found that really kind of worked.
Yeah, exactly the same with that one.
Yeah. Oh, I probably should disconnect the battery.
As a special treat.
As a treat, yeah. Before I pull out the Wi-Fi card.
Excellent. Ordered from the link in your video.
Oh, excellent.
Fabulous.
Yep.
I'm pleased that link still works.
Thank you very much. I don't know what that link is for. Like, I don't know if it's an Amazon link or if it was a link to the Insta360 website. I can't remember, if I'm honest. However, either way, thank you very much. So yes. Hopefully, I hope it was an Amazon link because that I know will just work and will go to a useful place. But yeah, Amazon. It was on Amazon, yeah, for 266. Oh, that's a good price. Yeah, they've come down a bit. That's good. Last I knew, they were about 300. I think that's fair. They've had some competition has sprung up from some of the other brands like Omnibot or something like that.
Orbot.
Yeah.
Orbot's a two-axis one.
Yeah. However, the Orbot ones are two-axis. And I'm like, why bother with a gimbal if it's not 3 axes? You know, because I think they offered me a review, but I didn't get back to them because I looked at it and I was like, no, because it's going to get demolished because I have an Insta360 link, which is like £20 more expensive and is 3 axes. So it will annihilate this thing. Like, if you send me a review, it's going to get wrecked. Because I have the superior version.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah, it was because if it had been like 50 or 60 quid cheaper than the Insta360, then there would be an argument there. You could be like, okay, it's only 2 axes, but that still gives you pan and tilt, you know.
Yeah. And there's a price saving.
That's it. You know, we can make an argument there because of the price disparity, but the price difference just wasn't that much. Oh, that's my mobile. I'm just going to quickly check who that is.
Mother!
Close. It's
sister!
Yeah, it is my sister. She's probably calling me to be like, have you got Mother a Mother's Day card? Because it's Mother... Is it Mother's Day?
It's Valentine's Day on the 14th.
Yeah. Oh, in that case, it's her birthday. Yeah. No, that's the 14th. No, there's something this weekend. I don't know. Either way, I'll deal with that later. Look, I'm juggling a lot of things at the moment. Cut me some slack.
There's something happening. There are things, maybe.
There's always something happening. Oh, this one's also an Intel. This'll do. I'm going to put this Wi-Fi card in there and see if it works.
Which one is it?
It is... It's an Intel 8265 NGW, which doesn't tell us very much. What was this one? And this is a 7265 dual band wireless AC. So this one sounds like it's a generation newer because it's an 8000 series.
Yeah.
So theoretically, we're giving them an upgrade. Not that that will probably make any meaningful difference on a Chromebook, but...
So what do you say,
8265 NGW.
NGW. W. I like that the first result was HP.
Yeah.
There you go. Intel dual band wireless AC. 2016. All of the
Wi-Fi
802.11
5,
AC,
yeah.
AC jubbies.
That's not bad. So I'm
Yeah.
guessing this is probably Wi-Fi 4 in that case, the old one, because it was a previous series.
Yeah. You said 8, 7.
There's the
Something.
old one. Give that a try.
7265 N G W
Right. Wireless antennas.
is
Am I going to clean this out?
a dual band 802.11 AC. It's Wi-Fi 5.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, probably the same performance then.
Probably
Just-
much the same. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the Bluetooth version is different, but who cares?
Yeah. Oh, that's fun. This is seeing liquid damage.
Oh no, same Bluetooth version.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have no idea what the difference is.
Check your tide marks, people. Are we still on bench cam?
Ugh. Whoop. Yes.
Yeah.
What?
Tide marks. That's milk.
Ugh.
Yeah. Or it's like coffee or tea with milk or something like that. I might just pop this battery out and just check if there's horrors.
What? There's
Yeah.
all of this.
All along the bottom. Yeah.
And there.
Yeah. I'm just going to pop that battery out and just check there's no nasty surprises there. That's not milk. Milk goes white.
Jip.
Man milk. Oh no, no. I read the chat and instinctively said it out loud, and then immediately wished I hadn't.
And that's Scrimore.
Because I try to read the chat aloud, so because obviously people in the VOD can't. If they're watching full screen, they might not have the chat on screen and stuff. So I try to read what I'm replying
Which
to.
is why I read the message, then read it out loud.
I'm going to get people trying to catch me out now. Don't try and catch me out. Don't be
Because
that guy.
it will work. It will take zero effort and will be incredibly unsatisfying.
All right. That looks fine. I think whatever that was, it was on the bottom. Like, there's no signs of this underneath.
Oh, they placed it in a puddle.
Which means they placed it in a puddle or something got spilled next to it and went underneath the laptop. So that's probably why there was no issues. Are there any stains on this? That's the where was the old one? That one. Yeah. No, there's no markings on that or anything. So yeah, I don't know. Wi-Fi cards generally don't fail that often in my experience, but it's not unheard of. But also, like, they're not expensive, which is why I'm replacing it anyway.
Yeah.
Because they're so cheap that it's just like, just change it. If you think there's problems with the Wi-Fi card, just put a different one in. Worst case scenario is that it wasn't the problem and you wasted £5 or something, you know.
AliExpress.com.
Whoop.
Oh yes, I want an £18 power supply off of AliExpress.
There are a lot of things that come up on the AliExpress homepage that make me go, what is that? And why is it featured on the homepage?
Yeah, if you wanted to buy another one of these, you could grab it from AliExpress for £4.
Huzzah, yeah.
Sort of thing, if that makes sense. Just because, as we were saying earlier about just buying a couple of newer ones to replace your ancient stock. There is a screw missing.
Yes, I was just confirmed that I hadn't pulled that screw out myself. I'm just going to grab an extra screw because that's a fan screw. You could get a buzzing fan out of that, which would be very annoying.
I mean, it's like the picture I sent to Si of the thing I was randomly suggested by AliExpress. It was like, oh, I see.
Well, if you sent it to Si, then that kind of tells us what kind of thing it might have been.
It's okay. I also put it in the in the special chat in the one place in the one time. Something
Excellent.
else.
So you're adding good content to the exclusive chat room. You know, giving the channel supporters their money's worth. Right,
No,
well,
I didn't put it in there because it's the Discord
Not long
rules
enough.
specifically say not to post content of that type. The things Caradog DM me the other day from the homepage was something else. Yes. I did love the fact that on one of the advertising sales emails I got from AliExpress, it was filled with computer parts. So, you know, processors, random X99 motherboards, you know, water cooling connectors, silicon objects.
That's the thing, when you open the homepage just then...
Silicon objects which were designed to look like people. And I was just like, no!
I think that's just a broken screw connector, because there's no thread under there, which is probably why there's no screw in there. Yeah, oh well, okay. Lost interest in that. It's not like the fan is going to fall out. Yeah. Clickety click.
I don't know what size ordering, but I don't want to know now. Hopefully,
is there anything else we can talk about?
Hopefully it's dinner. Hopefully size ordering dinner. Pizza?
All right.
Hot glue the fan. Not the casing, just the blades.
Right, is that saying? Right, not connected, no networks. Wi-Fi on. Right, it looks like the Wi-Fi won't turn on. It's entirely possible this Wi-Fi card came off of the bench. It was just lying around on the bench. I was like, that might fit. So it's quite possible that I put another dead Wi-Fi card in it. And I think that's what's happened here. So on to the next one in the collection.
What's on the AliExpress homepage something to do with the last thing search for? Not when you open every tab in incognito. I'm private browsing absolutely everything. There will be no cross-site tracking, for there are no other sites. Everything is its own session.
I need a prying tool. Heck. There we go. Ugh.
I'm going to drink a cider.
I see. Oh yeah, I completely blanked you when I got my one out there. Sorry about that. I was just like, I'm going to have a cider. End discussion.
It's fine.
All right. That is dead.
I realised that I completely forgot to focus the camera. But no one has complained, so I'm going to assume we're actually in focus.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like the main, that camera.
Oh, yeah, the face cam, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's try this guy. What are you? It's a HP part. Doesn't say anything else, though, so it's probably not stellar, but again, it's a Chromebook, so...
My God, there's light outside and it's 5 p.m. What is this?
It's hope, Caradog. It's hope. All right, I'm not going to put the back cover on this time. I'm just going to try it and see what happens. Whoop. Whitelist should give a boot error. It depends on the laptop. Because this is a Chromebook, I'm hoping it's not going to be fussy. On a lot of HPs, you're absolutely right. The Wi-Fi card would be whitelisted, which means you'd have to find a specific model of Wi-Fi card that is on the whitelist for that laptop, or you'd have to do a lot of ugly BIOS modification. However, yeah, because this is a Chromebook, it's probably a bit more lax. All right, Wi-Fi on. That much being said, it looks like this one is going to be fussy, and I might actually have to find a matching model. There is also just a non-zero chance that all the Wi-Fi cards sitting on my bench are all broken, but like, I haven't replaced that many of them in recent history.
I mean, if you want to test that, where's the Where's the box?
That's a good idea, actually. Yeah, it's back there. We could just put in one of those that's just got a brand new one in it.
This will fit, right?
Yeah. I wonder if there's a driver issue as well. Like, I assume that Chrome OS just has a selector armor of BIOS of network drivers, but now I'm thinking about it, maybe it does actually need a specific card.
I would expect it to.
Yeah.
Because they are effectively fixed image devices.
Yeah, that's just it. So it may actually just say this specific device has this model of graphics, Wi-Fi card. But like usually that's not the case, because where Wi-Fi cards are commodity devices, they usually won't restrict themselves that much, because they're like, well, you know, someone is at some point we might not be able to get that particular one. Right, what's this guy I've just plugged in? It's an I don't know. Nope, no idea what that is either. I'm not going to bother plugging in the antennas. I'm just going to turn it on and see if it works. Enable developer mode and stuff. Yeah, or I could just turn it on and see if it works. It's not like it takes a while to start up.
Have you actually rebooted it? Or did you just shut the laptop and turn it over?
I've been pulling out the battery.
Oh, I see, okay.
Yeah. Ah, right, Wi-Fi is on. Let's turn it off and turn it on again.
The thinnest of thermal pads.
Join Wi-Fi network. No networks. Interesting. Okay, so Wi-Fi is on, but it's not seeing networks. That's a difference.
I think this might need something small poking in one of the holes. Just because I think there's a thermal pad in the hole.
Oh, yeah. Perfect. Okay, so the Wi-Fi turns on with this card, but it doesn't actually find any networks. We'll try the brand new Intel card in it for funsies. So yeah.
Where's the old one? Because that's the 8.2 something. That's the other one.
That's the original one. Yeah.
Yeah. The one that was originally in there is an Intel 7265 NGW.
Yeah. Like if we don't have any luck with this in a minute, then it looks like this is going to be a matter of jumping on eBay and just buying another original card for it.
Yeah.
I kind of like 9 times out of 10 when it comes to Wi-Fi cards, like I say, they've got a broad range of compatibility, and whatever you've got lying around will probably work. However, it looks like this, as is the fashion when I try and do live repairs, it's not as simple as I thought it would be. So yeah, this might be a matter of, oh, okay, it looks like I actually have to find the correct Wi-Fi card for this device. So, is one of the antennas for Bluetooth? The antennas, I think, are both Wi-Fi, and I think it's only... I don't think they use antennas for Bluetooth on these, but I might be wrong. Someone else who knows more about these should answer that question, because you can get Wi-Fi cards that have like 5 antennas on them, and those will have a dedicated Bluetooth antenna.
Hate the feeling when you log into a page and asks you to select your year of birth and you have to scroll to get down to it.
No, that one's not recognised. I'm going to reboot.
Favorite thing I found for selecting date of birth in a website the other day was it only had 2024 and higher. So it only had 2024, 2025, 2026 for selecting date of birth. So you could only be negative ages.
I see.
I was like, no.
Yeah, Wi-Fi won't turn on for this. For this one, yeah. Okay,
Which is understandable.
Yeah. I'll stick the old card in now as just a double-blind test, but it looks like we do actually need a specific card. So, which is my guess.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think this one is. I think we're dead in the water, and I actually just need to buy the correct card for the laptop, which is disappointing, but also, well, I guess sometimes that's going to be the case. You actually need the correct part. Go to HP Parts Surfer. Yeah, or I could just type in. Go to eBay and just type in the model number of the card. Yeah, no need to overthink it. Like we don't need to know what the part number is. We have it. It's here. It's written on the part. So we can get that specific one, and it will probably be a few quid. Whoop. Okay, right, this is the original one, so we're expecting this one to see wireless networks, but be problematic. If it's still throwing issues now, then it just means that I've upset it, and it's unhappy because I've repeatedly messed it about.
That's the new one.
All right, Wi-Fi is on. And it's not seeing Wi-Fi networks. I'm wondering if this is a software issue and I'm being punked here. I need to check in with the... Cause
there you go. 8-day delivery. Choice delivery.
That's for an 8000 series, though.
Oh, yeah, but just a case of...
I see,
that's
for
not
new
bad.
ones.
There are just these with choice delivery available.
Fair enough, yeah.
As opposed to the other ones that are like these ones. I think they were like 45-day delivery estimate.
Oh, I'm an...
What?
The antennas aren't connected at the moment. I'll just connect the antennas and just see if it suddenly starts finding networks. Like, again, it should see networks. Like, even if it has terrible signal, it should be able to see networks at this point. But I'm just going to connect the antennas and just check, because otherwise that other card might have worked after all.
Are we done with the BE200? Because it wouldn't even turn it on.
Yeah, it wouldn't turn that one on, so we're definitely done with that one. Yeah.
Cool. No, that's fine.
Not that nobody had mentioned the antennas. Yeah, people did mention the antennas, but I can't imagine a world where it cannot see the network with no antennas, because the router is 5 meters away from us. You know, you don't need antennas to see that network. However, it's now seeing networks. So I think I have extensive amounts of egg on my face, and I think I'm going to try that other one again, which was the thin boy, I think. So yeah, okay, fair enough.
Do you have something small to get the thermal pad out?
Yes. Let me just grab the mega tweezers.
Because.
And by the mega tweezers, I mean the micro tweezers. The mega small tweezers. All right, yeah.
Pico tweezers.
So people who were saying plug in the wireless antennas, okay, you were right.
Ooh.
You win this time, chat.
You win this time, Eggman.
Yeah. You win this time, Gadget. Next time. All right. Was it the thin one that worked? I think it was.
I thought the 8000 one turned
I was
on,
going
but
to
didn't find
say,
anything.
yeah, I think you might be right. So I'm going to try that one because that's preferable if it works. No, I'm pretty certain this one wouldn't. Oh, I've forgotten now. I wasn't paying enough attention. I was just cycling through cars until I found one that worked and didn't actually pay attention to what the failure mode is. So, yeah. I guess we'll try them again.
Damn it.
It's not like it's difficult work to swap these cards out, so... I think chat wins 99% of the time. Maybe, but don't get cocky, chat. I'm watching you. Yeah, AJ says, I agree with Graham that it often works without the antennas plugged in. Yeah, AJ's cool. Hello, are we going to wake up? Is it on? It's not on.
Wake up.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. I think the battery might have died. Ugh. Power cable.
Trust. Shove it. Fight.
Shib-dib.
I do like the fact that in this ultra thin thermal pad there is actually just a hole punched where it clipped the antenna hole. It's like good job.
They are comically poor construction, those Wi-Fi cards.
Yeah.
But like, you know, they got that Intel goodness in them, so they'll heckin' work.
Yeah.
Right, would this laptop actually like to wake up? It's thinking about it. All right, that is now charging. Will you turn on now? Why are you being like that? All right.
Because the battery's unplugged?
No, it's not though.
Okay.
That's the thing.
Why would you turn on?
Yeah.
Battery's unplugged. Ah!
I might just leave it for a sec because I've been abusing this laptop, so it might be a bit upset.
What needs doing with that keyboard?
Right, so the keyboard, it has some keys on it that are potentially stuck. So we need to plug it into something.
This keyboard?
Yeah, we need to plug it into something and see which keys are stuck on it. Yeah, it's got a key puller attachment on the back. I think that's pretty cool. It's a place to actually store your key puller.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, you know, for how often you need to change out your keys.
I don't like the fact that this appears to have mismatched switches. I complained about this before, but I'll complain about it again. I don't know how I feel about that.
Very well.
I will plug this in over here and see what happens.
Oh, there it goes. Oh, the battery's half full. It was just upset with me because I was being rude. Okay, right. No, the Intel would not turn on.
Ah, very well.
Yeah, so in that case, it was the half width card that definitely worked. So I'm going to stick that in it. I'll stick the half width card in it, and
What is
then
all this? Why is it here?
I refuse. Whatever it is, I refuse.
Whatever it is, I refuse to take responsibility.
Yeah, the Spirit machine was upset. It certainly was. Changed Wi-Fi with bat plugged in. I thought I was being pretty good about swapping that out, but however, I've done this enough times that there might have been one point where I unplugged it without doing the thing. Anyway, non-zero chance. Throw the keyboard in the washing machine. Don't know. We need to identify what the issue is first. If you bring up a keyboard testing thing, I think
I literally just have Notepad open because I'm like, can it detect it first?
Oh, okay, yeah.
I was just like, yes, it has just turned on.
I think one of the modifier keys is sticking, which means it randomly does hotkeys and stuff. Or is it just kill?
Oh! Hello, welcome to non-UK layout characters.
Oh. Oh, is it throwing up accent characters?
Yeah.
Yes, I remember the customer mentioning this. It was throwing up accent characters, which probably means it's the Alt-GR, whatever that one is. What is it? Alt-Grande?
Alt graphics.
Alt-Graphics.
Yeah, Alt graphics.
Isn't it Alt-Grave or something?
No, graphics.
Okay. Okay. I'm sorry. Carol was like, it's graphics. Alt graphics key. I think the alt graphics key is sticking, which is why you're getting accent letters.
Also just why it occasionally doesn't accept key presses.
Yeah. Or it might be just the left alt, I can't remember. Which alt key is it to get?
The right one.
It is alt graphics. Yeah, okay, yeah. That would make sense. I just wasn't sure because I don't use graphics because like, why would you want accent letters? Only stupid languages have accent letters. This is bait.
Engagement comment. I see. Okay. I'm going to... Have you got a switch puller?
Yeah, yes.
Yesn't.
Yeah.
I'm also going to start taking things off the bench because I have ended up with lots of items.
Okay.
I was like, I'm going to
Yeah, I do have a switch puller. The bigger question is, do I know where it is? I know where I've seen it recently, but whether it's still there or not is another question.
Fair enough.
I've just gone over to...
Gone over to the bench of crimes.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
When you phrase it like that, it sounds bad.
are we done with the hot glue gun?
Yes.
Are we going to be hot gluing anything else
No.
together to fix it? Are we going to hot glue the hinges of the HP?
No. Soren has joined the chat.
Be gone. Is there a box or anything for this?
Yes. It's got hot glue gun written on it. Oh, it's next to my cider.
I see.
Yep.
I'm going to fix this by going...
Yeah. Oh. Right. Sorry for everyone walking off camera. Everyone, we're just looking. I'm just looking for my switch puller. I know I own one because I've got one that kicks around the shop that came with me with my Royal Kludge. Because it's a nice one. It's a switch puller and keycap puller in one go, which is extremely convenient.
Stares intently at things. I presume it's not in your mugs.
I've just had a quick look there, but I didn't see it sticking up. It's long, so like you'll know it when you see it. It's got two wire prongs for the keycap puller and switch puller prongs at the other end. What about in there? Have you moved in there? I have a suspicion that at some point I've moved it to an official location. See, every now and then I see it around and I go, that's a useful tool. I should keep that in a place where I know where it is.
You have a toothpick. That will...
Yeah, we've got other tools that'll probably do the job. It's just obviously having the correct tool for the job would be nice.
Yeah. You have an octopus. Well, the septopus.
Yes, one of the legs fell off.
No, I cannot.
Yeah.
I cannot
Okay. Losing interest in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, half. Nope, can't find it. Okay, that's unfortunate. Nope, we'll have to survive without it. I mean, we can pull switches without a switch puller.
Yeah.
It's just a bit more jank. A couple of the prying tools will probably do the job, or actually just 2 of the straight slotted screwdrivers.
Yeah. My method was going to be to start by just removing the modifier switches.
That makes sense, yeah.
And just see if it starts typing normally.
Yeah.
Because if it doesn't...
Okay, right. This is seeing networks. Oh no, however, this is seeing networks, but I think this is not it's not seeing 5 gigahertz network, so this Wi-Fi card is no good. It's not a dual band card, so it's some kind of ancient thing that's not dual band. Unless... No, that's not picking up 5 gigahertz networks, so that's no good. Yeah, all right, we're done with this HP. I can't do anything with this. Although what I will do, though, is I need to talk to the customer and just confirm the issue. And also, because it's coming up with the first run wizard, so this might have been factory reset. So I need to just say to them, did you guys factory reset this? Because if they did, then that means I can just log into it with my account for testing.
Yeah.
Whereas if this has come up for some other reason, I need to find out what the hell state this laptop is in before we have a conversation about that. So, yeah, okay, well, that's a bust. We're moving on. I'm shutting this down.
Yeah, that's doable.
However, what I can do, though, even though that Wi-Fi card is not dual band, which means it's no good because you can't fit a single band Wi-Fi card to a modern laptop. That's not a good idea. It is good enough for testing because I can do some testing, and if it continues to drop Wi-Fi networks, then we know that there's potentially some other issue.
Yeah.
So yeah. All right. Have we seen the hot glue drive working? Yeah. Is that finished the transfer?
No.
However,
I just couldn't do anything with the other thing.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. What's the transfer speed? Let's copy it at about 140, 150.
Which isn't bad coming from that through USB.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's currently copying data at about 140 megs per second from a Western Digital green over USB. So
yes, there we go. In the very corner of the... There you go. That is the file copy window.
See, it's real. We're not faking this.
For the new drive, for the fixed drive. Take
the original Wi-Fi card to the Chromebook. Yeah, I shall in a moment. That's annoying. I kind of thought that would be a 10-minute job. You know, I say I'm practicing doing repairs on stream. I'm beginning to wonder if it's a bad idea, because any repair I try to do on stream just automatically becomes cursed. I assume they're hot swap, given the fact that you've pulled out a switch.
I don't know. I applied 0 force and it came out, but I can't see what it's connecting to.
Oh, let's have a quick look. Oh, that's problematic. Does it have... Wrong? How do... I don't know modern switches very well.
There should be 2 or 3 prongs coming out the bottom of the switch. And I'm like, that just lifted straight out.
There's no visible pins. Have we got any keyboard nerds in chat? Have we got any keyboard nerds in chat who can identify switches? Because that ain't an MX switch.
No, it's a
Gateron, but I mean, it's not an MX style switch. That's what we've got. There's no visible contacts on the bottom of that switch. So yeah, if anyone recognises that style of switch, I can't see any pins on it. Is it one of the fake switches? No, I mean, it's a Steel Series keyboard with Gateron brand switches. So, and like, you know, the switch has got metal contacts in it. It's not like magnetic or some nonsense, is it? Like, there's not Hall effect sensors on the keyboard or some nonsense, is there? Optical switch?
Oh God.
Yeah,
no, it is.
Is it optical switches? So
yeah, because that's an IR.
Oh, I see. Yeah, so it's an optical switch, and you see there the optical sensor is firing through there and senses the switch coming down. Oh, that's nightmarish.
Yeah, it's an optical one.
Oh, that's nightmarish. I hate it.
The keyboard is toast.
Yeah.
Functionally.
Yeah. Bugger that. Okay, one last thing. Plug it back in and bring up one of those online keyboard testers, because those should be able to show you whether it's holding down the alt graphics switch or not. Because then at least we've got a positive diagnosis, and then we can decide. Because if we get a positive diagnosis, you know, like, people can live without alt graphics. We might just be able to desolder the optical sensor for that particular switch. So that might give us a way out of that doesn't result in the keyboard being a write-off. Because it's a nice keyboard. Can you not repair it? Yeah, we might be able to find... I'm going to have to... You know, we'd have to track down whatever LEDs they're using for those optical sensors. And I'm like, oh, that sounds like a barrel of fun that I can't be arsed with.
It's also just a fact of half the time it doesn't work.
Yeah. This is... maybe I'm just... I mean, I might be being unfair just because this is my first time seeing optical switches, and I've kind of... I didn't realise that optical switches were built into the keyboard, because, like, MX style switches. This is the point of hot swap switches, is you can swap them if they break. Why would you have hot swappable switches that because like at that point now you're just changing the key actuation and like, oh no, I hate it. I hate everything about it. Betting it's dirty. It could be.
But it's also just the fact of the keyboard isn't turning on.
Maybe the keyboard is having difficulty switching. Yeah, like there's.
Have you got a boring generic USB A to C cable?
A boring generic A to C cable.
Yeah, no adapter, nothing. Not Type C.
About that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, like there could be some rabbit hole issue with the controller, although...
Yeah, there you go, that actually works.
Oh, okay, it just doesn't like Type C. All right, that's fine. Yeah, progress. All right, I'll leave you to consider that for a bit. I'm going to put this HP to one side. Where is my masking tape? Whoop. I'm going to move on to something else. Just switch the switches to see if the key works then. Well, yeah, I'm inclined to agree, but we'll see if we can get a positive ID on our suspicion that Alt Graphics is being held down first. And also, if that's the case, if any other keys are also being held down, because that will give us information. Right, that doesn't seem to be working at all. If you press the Windows keys, the keyboard's not actually active.
Yeah.
That cable definitely works because I was using it for an SSD, so it's definitely a data cable.
Yeah.
I don't suppose the keyboard can be upset if some of the switches aren't present.
Well, no, because that would just be it would just be in a state of not being actuated.
That's right. It would have no way of detecting that the switch isn't installed.
Yeah. But also, it shouldn't have an issue because it should just
it would just have, yeah. Odd. Right, that's going back on the shelf. Okay. Right, in the meantime, while Caradog sees if he can make some progress with that, I'm going to look at the next one that's on my list.
Where is the Le Dongle? There's the Dongle.
Le Dongle.
Oh.
Use some contact cleaner. It's optical. There's nothing to clean. There are no contacts. But yeah, we'll confirm it first. If we can get some.
Oh.
Are you getting somewhere?
Oh, it's in a mode.
Oh, do you think it's in some weird alt mode or something?
Oh God, it's in some sort of mode. Well, because the Windows key is not Windows keying; it's LED light changing.
Are you sure that's not just an LED flash on key down?
No, because it's changing from matching RGB blue cycle, red cycle, etc. to red.
Oh, I see.
So stuff is disabled
mode. Okay.
and not disabled. So I'm like,
oh. Some other key could be being held down that we're not aware of.
Yeah.
This looks like a rabbit hole. Has it got an FN key? Where are the keycaps that you removed? Let's see. We have a Steel Series key. That's probably FN.
Oh, we don't have a model on this.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Apex 9.
I'm going to look at another laptop. You have a fiddle around with that. I'm running out. I'm sort of going no toward that at the moment, unless you can start making progress with it soon. Imagine you know how to use a keyboard in 2024. Yeah, that's yeah. Well, it's not unfair because, for example, my Cooler Master keys can go into weird modes when you press certain keys, but also it won't do that when you just plug it in. Like unplugging it and connecting it again would just reset it to normal. But because we might have a multitude of keys that it thinks are being held down here, we have no idea what mode that keyboard thinks it's supposed to be in. So that's lovely and grubby. All right, let's turn this on. This one, I think, has fan issues.
What?
Yes, okay. The system has detected that a cooling fan is not operating correctly. Ah, I see. Oh, if I catch it up... Whoops. Oh, it turned off. Okay, never mind. The fan is making unhealthy noises on this laptop. And given the state of the laptop, that doesn't really surprise me. So, okay.
Press and hold the OLED menu buttons. There isn't an OLED!
Maybe there should be, Caradoc. Maybe there should be. I'm going to plug a charger into this thing. Try that again. Right, this thing just needs a new fan, so I think we're basically just going to open this up and pull the fan out just so we can have a look at what state that's in.
Help me, TikTok. You're my only hope.
Yeah, this fan is making some funky noises. There we go, let me see if I can get...
Brand new 60...
Don't know if you guys can hear that. It's making some very rattly, unhealthy noises. Crunchy, yeah. Yeah, that's sitting there going... Oh, this mouse feels horrible as well. Okay, right, shut down. Stop. Let's clean this thing up. Right, so I don't have a replacement fan for this, but we can do all of the work bar replacing the fan, including taking the old fan out so it's ready for a replacement fan. So I'm going to start doing that. Beetle stuck in fan blade? No, that's a knackered bearing. The weird keyboard might be absolutely misconfigured in SteelSeries software, says Num Num. Is it worth just zapping down the SteelSeries software?
Profile switching key is number 4.
Yeah, because the SteelSeries software will probably might give you better troubleshooting as well.
This is a picture of a USB-C cable.
Very helpful. I'd wash my hands and put on some protective gloves. I mean, I usually just do the job and then wash my hands. Sometimes you get your hands dirty, you know.
Press the steel kicks.
As usual, don't work on dirty things and then just start pouring at your face kind of thing, you know. Do you want COVID? Because that's how you get COVID. Right. This being a HP, there's going to be screws hidden underneath the rubber feet. I shall take these off. Whoop.
Where did the switches go?
I put them all over here. Was it just the 3?
Yes.
Cool. Nothing under the front feet. Fair enough. You've always got to check with HP. Okay. Sometimes you've got to get people's dead skin all over you. That's part of the job. Yeah, kind of. The world is a dirty place, everyone. That's how it be. Even if you put on, gloves, if you actually want to protect yourself, you'd have to mask up and everything and just yeah. Oh, that's a stubborn boy. How about the back?
Hey!
There we go. Now we're progressing.
The keyboard, it types.
Oh, you're getting somewhere. What started getting progress?
I pressed the SteelSeries button.
Aha.
And the F9 key.
Okay.
However, the Windows button still doesn't work.
Fine. One of the things that worries me is we're trying to detect if a key is being held down, but if the key happens to be held down when you plug in the keyboard, oh, you asshole, is there another screw there? It feels like there is. If the key is being held down when you plug in the keyboard, it may just ignore it. Nope, there's no other screw there. Certainly felt like there was. That's just a really stubborn clip there somewhere. There we go. Oh no, the spicy pillows as well. Well, they're not terribly spicy, but yeah. A HP with a swollen battery, tell me it isn't so. Other than that, we've got an SSD in here, and we have 8 gigs of RAM. We have an extremely dusty fan, so that's fun. So let's pull this fan out and have a look at what condition it's in. Oh, I should probably take the battery out. I'll have to have a conversation with the customer about whether they want to replace this battery as well. I hate finding swollen batteries because, like, when the battery is in poor condition, you can kind of just ignore that. If the customer cares about the battery, they'll tell you. But when you find a battery that is started swelling up, your hand is kind of forced with that. It has to come out or be replaced. So yeah, you can see that's a little bit bulging on both sides, and that's for all 3 cells. So that guy's mega toast. By all accounts, that can't actually go back in the laptop. It's like, it's not going to explode, but it could, you know. It is in the state where it could become dangerous. Right, let's pull this fan out. Back reading thing. Luke Davis says, I'm usually chill around filthy computers, but when I see bugs, I get squeamish. Yeah, big same. Thankfully, I've not had a loss of that. I think, like, the only time I've seen something that is proper, like, oh, you know, has been that one time that I had a laptop with dust mites in it. And yeah, that was very much a case of, okay, we're going to have to clean and exterminate here. Come on, fan, get out. There we go. Just popped that antenna. Get on. There we go. Okay, right, here's the fan. So, firstly, as you can see, that's pretty well bunged up with dust. So the laptop has been running hot. The fan has probably been going at full tilt. The area of that that's not covered in dust is because the dust is in the fan. So nice little carpet of dust bunny there. That's lovely. And the way that we definitely know the fan is knackered is, let's see. Can we see that on camera? There you go. Can you see the amount of wobble on the fan rotor there? Fans will have a tiny little bit of wobble on them, but anything that is very noticeable, you'll see it straight away. And like, if I try and spin that with my fingers, it just stops immediately. It doesn't free spin at all. So that fan is completely knackered. So the rest of the laptop interior actually isn't atrocious. So I'll just gently dust that onto the bench. Trying not to kick up a cloud of dust. And then I'll put that on the floor to be swept up. You shut your mouth. Cool, right. That looks tasty now. And yeah, Sai says I've replaced so many of that exact fan. HP laptops, like, I feel like HP is the only brand where I ever need to replace the fans on them these days. Like once upon a time, fan replacement used to be common as muck, but these days it seems to be is it me or is it only HPs where the fan dies? So yeah, laptops really just need a hatch to access the fan. I don't feel like they fail often enough to worry about that. However, I do believe, I mean, one of two things. Either I do believe in bringing back easy access covers on laptops again. I mean, this isn't too bad because you just take off the bottom panel and we've got instant access to the bottom of the laptop. But, yeah. Basically only ever HP. Yeah, so I agreed. Used in bed. You've got a 10-year-old HP laptops, almost perfectly clean fans. Yeah, I mean, it's luck of the draw as well. It is... Sometimes people just... Some houses are just cleaner than others. And that's not necessarily down to people's habits. It's just down to the walls, the carpet, whether there's animals in the house, stuff like that. You know, I've seen people who live in, you know, I've seen people who have computers that are a decade old, and when you take the cover off, they look like they were built yesterday. And then sometimes you get people where, you know, they bring in their computer and you're like, we only serviced this 6 months ago, and it's just carpeted in dust. And that's not because, you know, it's just luck of the draw, I think. So yeah, pets do a lot. Yeah, pets do a lot. Foxconn. I'm wondering if that's the original fan. Oh, it is a Foxconn, I guess. I would expect it to be a Delta Electronics or something. It doesn't have a HP part number on it, so I don't think this... I think this might not be the first time... I don't know, service part number? Who knows? Speculating wildly. Okay, let's look up a fan. So this is a HP 14-BK. So I'm going to hit up eBay. Going to move over here. Bearings might have died because it's been running at full speed. Yeah, I find that very believable. The fan has been working harder than it needs to, and so it's just suffered a premature death. Smokers' computers are the worst. They sure are. I can 100% agree with that. eBay. Right, am I signed in? No, good. Right, let's go to desktop. Where's our desktop view? Apparently we don't have a desktop view, so I guess I'll add one. What about in Facecam? Facecam with bench? Facecam with capture? No. Okay. I guess we don't have a desk capture, so I'm going to add one in. Brain display capture. There it is. Add existing. It does exist. All right, let's go there. Lock that. Minimize that. Okay, right. Let's see. HP 14 dash. Did I say BK? Yeah, 14-BK. 14-BK fan. Buy it now. Lowest price in P&P first. Pre-owned, brand new, China, pre-owned. Ew. Really? UK only. New. 15 quid, really? Is that the best we can do? Okay, well that's a start. Let's grab the actual part number. 927918. 927918 -001. And let's go condition new. 13 brand new. That is correct. Yeah, it's an expensive fan, this one. That's annoying.
AliExpress?
I guess. Like, if we bought it from eBay, it'll probably be here. Like, oh, that says Thursday. Yeah, it'll probably be quicker than that. We'll check it for reference then. Yeah, because Caradog and I were having a conversation. Caradog and I were having a conversation about how AliExpress are showing priority shipping for, or choice shipping for a lot of items these days. That suddenly makes them a lot more attractive because you can get stuff delivered in about a week, which is not too bad. 14BK fan. Oh yeah, they're 11 quid on AliExpress.
£8 for £12 delivery. Sorry, 12-day delivery. Yeah.
Yeah, 12-day delivery. Yeah. Yeah, so we can get the price down a little bit, but
Yeah.
That's including the heatsink by the looks of things. However, let's pretend that we got plus shipping for £3.39. But then that's the thing is, if we got that one, that's £8.30 plus £3.40 shipping, so that's what, 11 something, and then we're going to have VAT on top of that applied at the checkout, which means it's going to come up to nigh on 13 quid anyway.
Yeah.
So actually, AliExpress, it does look cheaper, but it's not actually going to save us any meaningful money, I don't think. There's one for 5 quid there. But again, that's slow-mo delivery, like 3 weeks delivery. We don't want to wait that long. So that is going to come in at £7.76. So coming up on £8 after that's been added, that's going to be a tenner. So yeah, the eBay option is actually the best option there.
And that's delivery on the 17th.
Yeah. That's could be Thursday the 8th, but it's probably going to be here sooner than that.
Yeah.
Because 9 times out of 10, they say free economy delivery, and just the default economy delivery assumes up to a week kind of thing. But in reality, they're just going to send it by like first class or something, and it'll probably be here Tuesday or Wednesday. So that's actually going to show up a lot sooner than it estimates. So yeah, that's actually our best option, I think.
Oh yeah, but it was also a case of just I was looking at the AliExpress and it said like delivery on the 17th, which is 2 weeks. And I was just like,
which is a bit naff. So yeah, ugly ladies pics incoming. Yeah. Do you not have a parts donor you can snag bits from? Not for this specific model, but even if I did, I would never use a second-hand fan unless I was completely out of options. Because the second-hand fan, you've got no guarantee that that's not going to die in a week. So yeah, used fans are desperate measures as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, try Temu. I've never used Temu before, so yeah, I probably wouldn't roll the dice on that just because I'm not familiar with them. So yeah. Let's see. How long are your customers willing to wait for a laptop repair? Well, sometimes people will wait and sometimes they won't, but like a lot of people aren't going to wait 2 weeks for the sake of saving £2. They'll be like sort of, no, I'll pay another 2 quid to have it this week instead of in possibly 2 weeks' time. That's a no-brainer. So yeah, open the fan up. There's not a lot to see, to be honest. So yeah. All right, I'm going to order that. I'm going to order that fan super quick. I'm going to sign in and actually place that order, get it done. Right, close that. Sign in. Oh, it's going to ask me to two-factor, isn't it? Yeah, send a text. Text me. Get your man in the middle attacks ready, everyone. Ugh. Okay. This is the point where everyone's just like, I saw what you typed in. I know your temporary code. Okay. Buy it now. Send it. Normally I'd say, like, I'll order this later, but I won't. Oh, heck. Fine. Now I've got to log into PayPal as well. All right. Get your eagle eyes ready, everyone. You know what I really hate about the PayPal two-factor auth is you can't press enter at the end of typing in the code. You have to use the mouse to click on the OK button. It's really annoying. Thanks for shopping with us. Cool, we're done. This is the point where I'm just like, oh no, I was on desktop capture for the whole thing. All right. Look up the battery. Oh, yeah. All right, yeah, let's check the battery as well. Let's see. Just going to quickly skim through the chat. Now you'll have to answer to your sister. Oh, no. Don't you trust us? Yes, absolutely. All right. Right, okay, batteries, let's check it. Let's do this on camera as well. Capture, display. Oh, capture with face. I found where the capture was, everyone. All right. Right, Amazon. 14-BK battery. I like to order my batteries from Amazon because then if there's any problems with them, you just send it back, and 9 times out of 10, you don't even need to send it back. They just refund you. So that's why I've jumped straight to Amazon for the first check. So we've got some rando brands. Any brands I recognize? Green cell. That's okay. Ninja Bat have got one. That's a bit, yeah, 37, 27. Oh, that one's not free delivery. That's a automatic no from me. Because that means it's not actually sold by Amazon, which means returns are a bit sketchy. Any brand. Oh, wow. Okay. I think I've used one of these ones before. QA. Okay. I'm going to search for the, yeah, TF03XL is the model number, so that's the correct one. Let's check eBay. TF03XL. OEM batteries are well overpriced. Yeah, big time. It's the TF. Yeah, that's right. Are you still using Duracell Direct, Si? Which are 2-cell or something? Oh, 2 power. Yeah. Do you buy from the seller or buy the brand? A bit of both. I look for brands that I've used before and not had issues with. But also I want to buy directly from Amazon supplied, because then if there's a problem, I know I'm not going to have to mess around with the return. There's not going to be a case of send it back and we'll test it and stuff like that. I will just get a refund instantaneously. 2 power, I don't know if they have those. Yeah. Okay. Right, we want new. We want in the UK, which we're already on. We want buy it now, lowest price. Good. Any brands I recognize. Got even more sketchy looking batteries. Don't like it, don't like it, don't like it. Yeah, eBay batteries are junk, I think. These are all the same battery. Mostly. Yeah, there's not even anyone claiming to have a brand name here. Nope, don't like that. Duracell Direct. What's the website for 2Power? 2Power. Duracell Direct. Fancy that. What is this cookie policy? All right, fair enough. I've never used these guys before, but Si does keep saying they're good, so I'm going to have a look. 3XL. No! Wait, that's... Oh. Off. There we go. 60 quid! Ew. No, not £60. Not for a grotty HP. Personally, I'd probably, yeah, I'd take the Ninja Bat there for 40 quid. Like, I've had one or two bad ones from Ninja Bat, but that's one or two bad out of a lot of them that I've purchased. So my gut is the Ninja Bat there. I'm probably going to go with that one. But I need to check in with the customer first to find out what they want to do. But my instinct is definitely the Ninja Bat there. They're one of the biggest OEMs, so they're legit as it gets. Yeah, this is fair. But yeah, 60 quid is a no.
Given, right. In answer of all the findings, I've tried changing the language on the keyboard. I've tried changing saved profiles, saved configs. It's muck-fucked.
Yeah.
And I can't be bothered to fix it.
It has controller issues.
And also, to be incredibly snobby, it doesn't feel worth saving. Because...
Yeah, I mean...
the level of cost that would be involved in saving this is also a case of, given that this keyboard model only had press releases announcing its release in September 2022, it's probably new enough just to go, it's broken, give me my money back. Yeah, it
might even be under warranty then.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
Because this model is less than 2 years old.
Yeah.
Therefore, this example may even be less than a year old. Therefore, just warranty.
Yeah, that's fair. Suffice to say, like...
because the amount of time it would take to try and work out how to fix it,
yeah,
you're looking at a £200 repair,
yeah,
and it's not worth fixing.
Like, at the end of the day, I'm just going to move that out of the way. If it had been just a case of it had some bad switches, which is what it looked like, then that would have been worth saving. But it sounds like it has a rabbit hole of potential controller/firmware issues, and that is absolutely not worth getting into unless it was a very, very exotic keyboard. And
at which point you'd literally just download a vanilla version of QMK and flash that to the board and then reconfigure.
Yeah.
And you'd fix it in 5 minutes.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, keyboard's a no-go then.
So yeah, no.
Do RE make batteries? I doubt it. Well, I mean, there's make batteries and assemble batteries, and then brand batteries, and I don't know the answers to any of those. ARE, I'm sure I've used their batteries before. They are one of those brands, though, that are fairly cheap, so I think it's a bit of a luck of the draw one with those. But I don't think I've had any bad ones, to be honest. I just usually try to go for slightly more expensive ones because for me with batteries, I do believe in a cost floor where if a battery, like when you're paying £20 or less for a battery, I'm kind of expecting the battery to be a bit crap. And ARE are often kind of cheap. So maybe it only needs a firmware update and a reset. Do we have the option of flashing the SteelSeries firmware with it?
There is also no useful user manual. There is no useful assistance
resources
provided by SteelSeries. All of the instructions for factory reset and things like that don't apply to this model of keyboard because they say navigate to this menu on the OLED screen.
Which it doesn't have.
Yeah. So basically it's a case of, sure, maybe you could flash the firmware on there, but I don't know where you'd find it to start
Yeah.
with.
Yeah, I mean, if we've got anyone here who is an expert with SteelSeries, then maybe we could entertain the possibility of having a look at that. But
also to be able to flash the firmware, you'd have to disassemble it and chip off board it.
oh, can you not do that?
Well, there's no option in the software.
Oh, really? Really?
And even if there was an option in the software, given it's giving all these issues and inputs and so on, do you really want to try and flash that?
Might just get bricked. Yeah.
You'd basically have to chip off board it for.
Yeah.
At which point you're disassembling it and voiding the warranty. And given we know it's less than 2 years old,
Yeah.
there's probably warranty, so you can just get it replaced.
Fine. Unfortunate, but a conclusion is a conclusion.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right then. Let's see. Bring back resellable batteries. Yeah. I agree. Right. Okay. All right. Catch you later, Si. Thanks for dropping by. You had a voucher for £20. That's other stuff. Blah, blah, blah. Cool.
What? There's a firmware update for the keyboard to add voice clipping and microphone capture. What?
Maybe I added in a specific hotkey combination.
Yeah. No, also the results on SteelSeries for firmware update are all talking about their game engine software.
Fine. Yeah. Okay. Les Barnières. Very well. All right. So we're basically done with this HP for now. I've ordered the new fan for it because it definitely needs that. The battery, I'll have to have a chat.
Boy.
Yeah. I'll have to have a chat with I'll have to have the chat with the customer on Tuesday about whether they want to do the battery as well. Because
are you going to suggest that they do or not?
well, that battery can't go back in the laptop because it's swelling. So it's going to be a case of I need to say to them, look, the battery is swelling, which means it has to be removed from the laptop because the battery is going into a state where it could become dangerous.
Oh yeah.
Therefore, I cannot refit it. So do you want me to supply you with a laptop with no battery in it, or do you want me to get a new battery for it?
Yeah, no, I meant, would you recommend replacing the battery in this laptop?
Yeah.
Or getting a new laptop?
No, I think...
That was the
See,
question.
yeah. No, I think the
Because I
laptop
didn't
is
know
worth
what
saying.
spec it was.
Yeah, no. Other than having a knackered fan in it, the laptop seems to be a perfectly nice laptop.
I didn't know if it was some like 4th gen 2 gig of RAM
No,
Dropbox.
it's not a potato. So yeah. And what I'll do is, for some customers, I'll probably say to them, do you use it on the battery? Because there are a surprising number of people who say, no, it sits on a desk plugged in 24/7, which is why the battery is knackered. But also, when that's the case, I usually say to them, then don't bother replacing the battery because you're just going to be paying money for a battery that is going to get goosed by being plugged in for another 2 years.
Yeah.
Because leaving a battery just 100% charged will kill the battery really heckin' fast. Like within a year or so, that you can just knacker a battery doing that. So if you're not actually using it on battery, then there's literally no point in replacing the battery.
Yeah.
So I'll talk to the customer and just see what they want to do on that to that extent. So yeah. Let's see. How about bring back thicker laptops? Race to the thinnest is not good. Yeah, they still exist. They still exist. You dispose of puffy batteries as soon as possible. Your local library deal with them. Oh, that's neat. That's lucky. Usually, when I get round to it, I take them down to the local tip because they have a battery box which is very concerningly just full of rainwater. But there's literally just a box full of rainwater with a bunch of batteries rusting away in it, and I'm like, that seems pretty safe, but I guess if the battery is shorted, then it can't have charge in it. So, yeah.
Also, not my problem. LOL.
Yeah. I guess it can't catch fire if it's underwater.
Well.
Not that I'm going to put that to the test, but yeah.
I mean, it could, in theory, because, some of the chemistries combine and you can liberate oxygen from the actual chemical in the battery, and therefore it's a sustained fire by way of the...
How can the water be on fire, Caradog?
It's not the water that's on fire, it's the battery in the water. It's like the underwater flares.
Yeah. Right, the tip battery box is just there to make people happy. They end up in the groundwater, probably. Oh, no, I doubt that very much. Not a council estate tip.
In the groundwater?
Yeah. Or unless you're worried about just chemicals from the batteries leaking out of the box and into the groundwater, which I guess you could make that argument.
Yeah.
Yeah. However, the batteries will be responsibly disposed of. The tip can't landfill LiPo batteries. They are not allowed to do that. Yeah. And like, you could say sort of they probably do, but now we're getting into conspiracy theory land, and there's no point in having that discussion. Yeah. But yeah. Lithium can burn in water. Yeah, there's actually very little lithium in batteries, contrary to popular belief. However, the chemicals in them are still nasty and can still catch fire. So
I think the highest percentage ones are something like 3 or 4%.
Yeah.
By weight.
Yeah. The danger of LiPo batteries is that they have an extremely high energy density, and so if the battery deteriorates to the point where the layers inside the battery can short together by some means, then the battery internally shorts, and because of the energy density, it dumps a large amount of electricity into that short, which means it gets hot, and when you have something that is going into thermal runaway, you have a fire, and a very fast fire is an explosion. Thus, you have a battery that goes, So that's
Depends
the real danger.
Yeah, it depends on how it vents, basically.
This is true, yeah.
Because you might end up with a 4-meter long jet of flame.
Yeah.
Or it might actually just go...
Yeah. So, but that's
Either way, not great.
Yeah, but that's the thing. That's the real danger of the battery. It's not the lithium that is, generally speaking, the danger. It's just the fact that there is a large amount of energy trapped. There's a large amount of potential energy trapped that can then discharge very, very quickly. That's what creates the actual danger. So yeah. So yes, where's the tip disposal of them? I don't know, but as I say, it ain't going to be landfill because, yeah, although to be honest, doesn't the UK have an issue of just shipping its trash off to other countries?
To a degree, a little bit. Yeah, absolutely. But also that's kind of...
Again, neither here nor there. We don't really know
in a managed fashion.
Yeah.
Because like... oh God, I can't remember what the actual company that's been set up is, but it's the company that Volvo Polestar uses for its batteries, and they import e-waste batteries into Sweden. Therefore, technically, we're shipping our waste off to another country, a battery recycling centre in Sweden.
Cool. Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
And the same company has built one, and it is operating somewhere in the Midlands. I can't remember.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
And it's like a point I made ages ago. I think it was Polestar said, or it might have been Volvo for their vehicle, said they wanted by 2025 or something like that, 100% of their batteries to be recycled ones. And then they were like, we can't get enough recycled batteries because not enough of them are failing.
Yeah. Presumably, though, that's just electric car batteries. Unless they are recycling just any LiPo batteries they can get hold of.
Oh yeah, there's functionally no difference.
Yeah. Interesting, yeah.
It's just the size.
Yep. Astonishing if true. So yeah, which is not so.
But yeah, that's what their aim was, to like by 2025 or 2030 for like 100% of their sourcing for batteries to be like made from reclaimed materials or something like that. I can't remember exactly what they said. But it was just like, interesting.
Fair enough. Volvo pulled out Polestar, apparently. Or they pulled out of that. Don't know. Citation needed. Fair enough.
Idea.
But yeah. You're forgetting you're in Tory Britain. Of course it's going to landfill. But again, this is conspiracy at this point. Like, by all means, if you've got... If that is what is happening and there is evidence to back that up, we can have that conversation. But yeah, I'm not going to speculate on people doing illegal stuff because I don't know. We can only work on we can only operate on what is supposed to be happening. So yeah. But yeah. And yeah, disagree about latitudes. My response to latitudes being terrible and cheaply made, I would say, okay, what isn't? What would you recommend? So yeah.
Because arguably the only things that aren't cheaply made in the sense of that are going to be very
Apple.
much the bespoke kind of devices.
Yeah.
You know? Framework, Apple, the XPS, the EliteBook, you know, sort of those laptops that start at £2,000.
Yeah.
And it's like, great.
Yeah.
Your argument is this £300 laptop is made less expensively than this £2,000 laptop.
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah, Lenovo ThinkPad. Everyone says that, but man, I fucking hate ThinkPads. I hate them with a passion.
Every Lenovo laptop I've seen has felt like absolute trash.
Yeah, I like everyone raves about ThinkPads, but whenever I actually have one in front of me, I'm like, it's bendy and flimsy and plasticky, and it's a 3-layer design, which means it's a nightmare to disassemble. Yeah. I think ThinkPads are the most overrated laptops under the sun. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some things they do well, you know, like, for example, you know, when Rossmann was raving about ThinkPads, they do have plastic covering the circuit board to provide liquid resistance and stuff like that. Absolutely, there is design in there, but like, they're still just plastic laptops, you know. They're not some wonder device that just magically doesn't break. And it's just when they do break, they're just even harder to fix. So, yeah. So yeah, as I say, I don't.
The last time I used Lenovo, they were so the default Windows image as well was so bloated and filled with trying to sell me photo album software.
Yeah, I mean, you can say that about any brand, although I still think that Dell are probably the most least egregious for that much.
And also just the fact of Lenovo still attempts to come up with new ways of manning the middling SSL.
Really? What's that with regards to?
For selling advertising. So they can inject advertising into websites.
What's the context for this?
I can't remember what it was. They were doing something with one of Lenovo's own pieces of software that they supplied on the laptops to man in the middle SSL protected websites, so they can then inject advertising onto those websites and sell the adverts as Lenovo customer guaranteed display adverts kind of thing.
Oh, gross if true. Yeah. But
there was also Snapfish or Spearfish or something like that, which was a rootkit a while ago. But yeah, and it's just like,
Interesting.
Which is kind of a point of basically any laptop you buy, any computer you buy, you basically have to buy the thing and then reinstall Windows on it, then supply.
Yeah. There are decent ThinkPads, there are bad ThinkPads. Overall, they don't mean... Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that ThinkPads are, like, cheap and tacky or anything like that. I just think they're overrated. Also, though, all this being said, it would not surprise me that there are good ThinkPads and bad ThinkPads, because by the same token, like, there are good Latitudes and bad Latitudes as well. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm a Latitude fanboy. I like Latitudes, but also I have certainly seen a couple of Latitudes where I'm like, there was one that I had done work on for a customer. It was the one that had been taking ages to be collected. It finally got collected and paid for, but that was a Latitude 3000 series, and I thought it was an Inspiron. which tells you a thing or two about the build quality of that, because I'd mistaken it for an Inspiron, which means I obviously didn't think very highly of the build quality of it. So, you know, I'm a Latitude fanboy, but there are bad Latitudes as well. Yeah. So it's entirely possible, you know, as I say, might be judging ThinkPad by the bad ones, but again, at the end of the day, it's just like, yeah, you've got to judge everything on a case-by-case basis, you know. So yeah, bad Latitude, easily the D620. I mean, the D620, I've never tried to fix those because they're archaic. But like, I used to like the D620. I installed hundreds of those back in the day. But yeah, the Latitude 5000 series is pretty much all good as far as I'm concerned. Those are the ones that I sell, the 5400, 5300, 5400, 5500. But yeah.
What else is on the list?
Let's see. What's the timer on? The timer is on 2 hours 30. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I think we've got time for more. I'm going to quickly have a look.
Very well.
Right, one moment. I'm going to use the bathroom first. So please entertain the masses.
I refuse.
I'm looking
It's
for the
on the
microphone.
other side. There we go.
Shucks.
I shall not. I refuse. Come here. Come here. Arguments. Yes. Alienware. I don't know. They went through a phase many years ago of releasing some interesting laptops, and then just kind of they got very much turned into trashy laptops. And just, yeah, seemingly having lots of weird kind of issues. And just, yeah, no. And like, oh boy, the Dell higher end desktops these days, they are questionable. And just the fact of like trying to keep reusing the same case design from 25 years ago and like, we will just add more plastic cowling and shaping around it. And it's like, no thanks. Yeah. Glued CPUs. What? What is a glued CPU?
A soldered-in CPU?
Yeah. Also, are you okay?
Look,
are you good?
the computer's just testing its fans when it turns on.
I must go to 3,500 RPM.
Right, I'm just going to check the ticket list and see if there's a nice easy one to check out.
What is the oldest ticket?
That's not the solution here. The oldest tickets are ones where I'm just like, oh hell no. That one's gone.
And the question is, why are they still here?
HP NV desktop. That's gone. There we go. I just closed 2 tickets like that. Bam.
Congratulations.
Skilled.
Congratulations. How many tickets are you on out of 20?
I don't want to talk about this anymore.
I didn't ask if you did. I was asking.
Let's see. That's a service job. That's kind of boring. We could do that one.
I still feel like you should be like, we are closed. We are closed for normal repairs. However, we have a priority ticket available. If you are willing to spend £400, we can look at this.
Yeah, I'm sort of. I've been pushing away rabbit hole jobs kind of thing, and like the only ones that I'm actually booking in at the moment are just routine stuff. We could have a look at a HP that's been dropped. Let's do that.
We could look at an HP that's been improved.
Yeah, because like, wow, savage. I'm just going to shuffle these up.
What are you going to do with these screws? all these screws about this place?
I'm going to get one of the little baggies that we decided we had. The drug bags. The bags for drugs.
The bags for cooling fittings.
Drugs!
The water cooling fittings. Nothing more.
Whatever you say.
Nothing less. That's why they're from Barrow. Unless they're the ones that are, you know, imported from Ireland.
Whatever you say. Bam.
See,
can go there.
he even says 3/8 of an inch.
Well, yeah, they're not going to write drugs on the bag.
Drugs on the bag. sounds like an ITV3 drama.
Let's swap places again because this might get taken apart.
I see. Okay. Where's this going?
Ah.
It's your bloody shop.
Find a bit of counter that doesn't have a laptop on it. I don't know how to say it. I'll put it over here.
Oh my god.
See how easy it is?
Right, and then when you want to type on that keyboard?
Well, I'll have to put it somewhere else then, won't I?
Exactly.
All right. Can we import Vatless from Northern Ireland? Yeah, because that's mainland UK.
Because it's also not importing, it's just shipping around the UK.
It's domestic, effectively. I mean, I think shipping is a bit more expensive from Northern Ireland.
Probably for some of the couriers and stuff.
Yeah, but yeah, it's functionally domestic. Right. This is a HP something or other. The text is very faded on the back. Oh, am I going to be able to read it? It's a 14DW, I think. Customer dropped it, and it's stone dead.
Both corners are broken.
Yeah, I mean, it's got a broken corner there and there. I wonder if it went bang and like flipped and did a 360 kickflip or something.
Was actually dropped from several miles up.
Maybe. I mean, it looks pretty banged up. The screen, like, we've got a dinked corner there, but it's got a glass touchscreen, which doesn't look broken by some miracle.
That is not a square USB
Yeah,
port.
the side looks a bit wonky, doesn't it? Might be a cracked motherboard. We do get a charge light.
Good.
Oh, I seem to remember, I think this one does turn on, however, it was brain dead. It would give, it gives a power light. But that's the HDMI one. But if I grab a Chipmunk, so the power LED is on at the moment, but if I plug in a Chipmunk...
If you say so.
Yeah, it's kind of dim. If I plug in a Chipmunk, the Chipmunk says nothing. There's no power to USB or anything like that.
Ah!
So, whoops, that's coming off. So, yeah, Chipmunk says no, that's gone off. So, it's turning on, but it's not turning on, seems to be the case. So, I'm going to take the covers off and just find out how much of a disaster this thing is inside. Yeah, I don't know what we're walking into here. May as well, the rubber feet are missing from this, so I may as well just pull up all of the... Yeah.
All of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is my yeah. Hans. Get the Werble nerfer. It worths nurbles.
I see. Screws have gone stiff. Oof. No wonder the electric boy struggled with that one.
Oh, it's not even the drop corner. I was wondering if it had like bent or something.
Oh, it may have. That's the thing. When you drop it, it's just everything's going to get knocked off kilter. Secret one at the front. Right.
It's a lot of, you'd have to replace all of the casing, wouldn't you?
What, to fix the cracks and stuff?
Yeah.
Potentially, yeah. Like, this is probably going to be a make good repair, you know. Like, the laptop is never really going to be the same again, I don't think. It's just a question of, can we make it start and run? And then the customer just lives with a banged up laptop, basically.
Oh yeah, but I was just looking at it and like the extent of the damage, and I was just like, oh yeah, that's literally everything.
Yeah, although we don't know what condition it was in before it got dropped. It might have also been a little bit banged up there.
But just to fix it all up. It's
Yeah.
a case of, because it's the top, the bottom, and the screen.
Yeah.
And so on. That's a lot of bits of plastic.
Yeah. Right, so that back corner, that's just DC jack. That's fine. Finger. Top right, where the USB port is. Not seeing any massive cracks in the board or anything, and that is a subboard. The heatsink is pretty smashed up. Don't know what the hell happened there. I'm like, was that me just then? It can't have been.
Will it fit in the air fryer? I wouldn't air fry your batteries. Personally.
Okay.
Oh, it's got a full-size SD card slot.
It sure does. Let's pull the battery out. I should probably just disconnect the battery and then plug it back in again, because you know, that's going to do what is effectively a BIOS reset on this as well. It might just come good if we just disconnect the battery and reconnect it. I don't see any major physical damage to the motherboard. There's no unhealthy looking bends anywhere or anything like that, but you never know. I'm going to sneak a look under these tin shields just to see if there's anything worth seeing under them. There's our memory.
All 4 gigabytes of it.
All 4 gigabytes of it. What is this laptop? Is this a potato? Is this another classic?
I don't know, but it's shedding plastic.
Yeah, well, it's been dropped. There's going to be a million broken clips in it.
It's a Pavilion i3.
Yeah, it's an i3, but with a touchscreen and stuff, man, again, it's just frustrating that laptops like this exist. Like, it was an i3. Why didn't you put 8 gigs of RAM in it? What storage does it have? It looks like it has an SSD. In before, there's just like an eMMC module or something like that.
How much storage does this have? Yes.
Yeah.
Available storage, 12 gigabytes.
It's got a 256 gig SSD in there. Is that NVMe? Yeah, 250 gig NVMe drive.
There's literally a single chip on that entire PCB.
Yeah, well, it's only 250 gigs, isn't it? So.
Yeah, but there's a single chip. There is no controller chip.
It's monolithic design, Caradog.
It's horrifying, that's what it is.
Okay. Right. This is definitely going to want more RAM. Right, let's chuck that in there. Single antenna solution, thanks HP. Why is my Wi-Fi bad? All right, I'm going to plug this in with the battery disconnected and see what it does. Right, we have a white light on the charger because there's no battery. And our survey says...
Yes, opportunity to sell them a Latitude.
Ah, it lives. Maybe. It's going to RAM train because it's had a BIOS reset and the thing removed from it, but just for posterity, you can see we've got red LEDs there. We didn't have those previously. The laptop has actually gone to an SO state now. No, we're waiting for a green flash from here. If we get a green flash, that means activity on the USB ports, which means oh, there we go. The screen has come on and we just had flashes, so yeah. The green flash means there's activity on the USB ports, and that means that the...
Why is there a keyboard?
Because it's got a touch screen.
Oh!
It's it's not too shabby sometimes, you know. Right, CMOS reset and to reboot the system. Yeah.
What? There is a UEFI on-screen keyboard.
Yeah, because you might not have a keyboard.
Yeah, but the fact that it's in the UEFI, I'm just like,
Yeah.
that's wild.
Bad laptop soldered RAM. Well, it doesn't though, because we literally just took the RAM modules out. You watched me do it. So yeah, let's cover that for customer data. Anyway, as I was saying, yeah. So the Chipmunk, the green flashes on the Chipmunk basically mean there's activity on the USB ports, and if you've got activity on your USB ports, that means that your CPU and PCH probably work, because it means that the laptop is thinking. It's not a guarantee, but if you are seeing activity on the USB port, it means you're probably good. And if you're not seeing activity on the USB port, it means that the CPU / PCH may not have started. So it means that it's a barometer, basically. So yeah. Anyway, right, that has started. That looks good. I'm going to shut that down again.
I'm going to peer at the screen for a moment and be like, "Ooh, yes, it's okay."
Yeah, astonishing that, considering it's glass fronted, astonishing that the screen didn't crack.
Also, quite impressive just that the screen is quite a nice one. I half expected it to be a 1366-768 screen. Because HP and...
I mean, other than only having 4 gigs of RAM in it, it seems fine.
Yeah.
So yeah, I tell you what I'm going to do.
How much is 4 gigs of RAM?
Yeah. Today's word, barometer. I've started using that term a lot recently because it's a really good description for describing tests which are not conclusive but provide information. You know, because like an actual real barometer doesn't tell you the weather, but it tells you the atmospheric pressure, which gives you an indication on what the weather is probably going to do, but is not guaranteed to do. So yeah.
SODIMM.
I
presume it's DDR4.
Yeah, it is DDR4. It's 3200, which is surprising. I was expecting it to be 2400 or something heartbreaking. I'm going to see if I've got any 4 gig modules. I think I'm actually out of DDR4.
3200. Oh, there we go.
Oh, I've got a 4 gig module over here.
£6 off of eBay.
Oh, nice. I'll probably pick... Really? 4 gig modules? Wow.
And then a single 8 gig module is 15.
Damn. That's pretty good. I might get 2 8s and 2 4s.
Or if you buy 2 4s, it's £13.
Yeah.
Oh no, that does work.
Okay, yeah.
I thought for a second the price was more expensive to buy 2 4 gig modules than it was to buy 1 4 gig module twice.
That wouldn't be bonkers, because the majority of people are probably going to be buying 8, so they've sneaked the price up on that option.
Yeah.
For people who didn't check, you know. Right, I'm going to stick this module in. This is a 2666 module, but it's a mobile i3. It doesn't care. So, yeah.
I care.
It doesn't. So
I do.
I'm
going to modify my BIOS to tighten my RAM timings. And then I'll flash it to the BIOS chip thingy. Oh.
Yeah, I'm going to try and straighten that out in a sec.
Also, some of them are just missing.
That's just missing because that's where case clips go and stuff. At any rate, yeah, I'm actually just going to reassemble this and see if it's okay. It looks like just disconnecting and reconnecting the battery may have been all this thing needed. It looks like it may have just had a nasty bump, and just reseating everything has straightened it out.
From this seller, it's cheaper to buy the
a pair of 8s.
The 16 gig option 2x8 than it is to buy 2 1x8s, which is just interesting.
We're logged in at the moment. Do you want to add a pair of 8s to the cart and a pair of the cheapest 4s you can find to the cart?
A total of 2 8 gig modules and a total of 4 gig modules.
2 8s and 2 4s.
Yes, that's fine.
Yeah, that would be
whichever combination is cheapest of that.
Yes, yeah. Because most of the time I'm adding 4 gig modules into laptops that have a 4 in them already. So we're putting in a second 4 gig module to bump it up to 8 gigs. But sometimes you get laptops that only have a single memory slot with a single 4 in it, so you need to take the 4 out and put an 8 in. So I want both available to me so I can mix and match for whatever is cheapest for that laptop. I'm going to stick my head under the camera because I'm going to very carefully make sure these are lined up. When you're putting on these tin covers, be really careful, because it's very easy to just have them misaligned and then you have a sheet of metal shorting out the motherboard. I've never made that mistake, but I have seen customers who have and now have a dead motherboard because something somewhere got shorted out. So when you're putting these on, make absolutely certain that they are seated correctly. All right, I'm just going to straight reassemble this.
Also, these are 3200s. Do you want 3200s?
That's fine. I'm sure.
I didn't know if you wanted 21, 33 modules.
Well, do you just want to double check if slower memory is cheaper? Like, if it is cheaper, I doubt it's cheaper by a meaningful amount, but we'll just check that like 2400 isn't half the price or something. 4 gig module, £4.73. Yeah, it's like a £1 difference to have 3200, isn't it? So we may as well buy the 3200, because then if it's a Ryzen or something like that that will care about memory speed, then we're putting in decent memory.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because it was only Macs that are stupid and go, LOL, this is 3200, I'm not going to boot.
Yeah.
Instead of I'm going to run it at 30, I'm going to run it at 2666.
Yeah, with Macs, if they don't recognize the SPD, they just won't start.
Checkout?
Yeah, and just run that through, PayPal.
Oh, I also realised we're incredibly zoomed in. Oops.
Oh, thanks. Chat was probably screaming at us.
Oopsie. PayPal.
Oopsie.
Get more time to pay. No.
How the hell does this work? That goes in like that, I think. What even are these little plastic doodads?
I don't know.
Well, maybe you should.
I'm going to see if I can read your messages. Oh, I can't. Because it needs to 2FA via.
Oh, I see.
Oh, no, it needs the authenticator app.
Yeah, hang on a sec. I shall...
You are on screen.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm not going to type in my PIN number. I'm assuming that people won't be able to read my thumbprint, you know?
My thumbprint? No, it has been cloned. I require a new thumb.
This is the point where someone's just like, I captured your thumbprint from that shot. It's like, really? That's a bloody good camera you've got there, Caradog.
Is that right? Oh, it's just direct purchasing off of the account. Fair enough.
Yeah.
What? Are you using some like alpha version of Discord? Or is it a Chrome shortcut?
There are 2 Discords on there. There is a so yeah.
I was just like, why is there a green icon with a squiggly line across it saying Discord? What? Now I understand why you hate using the mobile app. You're using some dog fooding alpha edition.
No.
Bleeding edge brokenness.
No, I have two copies of Discord, and I use an app that's literally just called App Cloner, if my memory serves me.
Yeah.
And it allows you to duplicate any app on your phone, which is incredibly useful if you have 2 separate accounts and the app doesn't support multiple accounts. Okay. Yeah, and one of its features is that it allows you to change the app icon, including just changing the color. It will just tint it a different color.
Yeah.
So I usually tint the cloned app a different color so I know which one is which.
Yes.
So that's how I've managed to have a green Discord icon.
Yes, it was just the fact that I was just like, what?
Yeah. Right, what's chat been up to? Because you have been neglecting them.
Maybe they deserve it. Hi.
I fixed a laptop because I'm a genius. What have you
Absolutely.
achieved?
I have been here.
You know what? And it's been a pleasure, Caradog. Thanks everyone for tuning in.
I am moral support. I saw someone mentioning ages ago about the new Ryzen APUs. I was just like, yes, the APUs. Laptops look like they might get spicy.
Am I long screwing that? No. I saw, it might have been a Gamers Nexus thumbnail where Steve looked thoroughly unimpressed.
Yeah, but that's just him and hardware since 2019.
Yeah, fair enough.
I've stopped watching Gamers Nexus reviews because
Really?
they are so detached from reality, it's untrue.
Like, as in...
Just the fact of they're so sanctimonious about how dare companies charge more money for things that cost more to make.
Yeah.
Like the 7600 XT costing $50 more for 16 gigs of RAM over the 8 gig of RAM version, when 8 gigs of RAM costs $50.
Yeah.
The component cost is literally $50 higher. And they're like, how dare they charge more money for this? Well, because the components literally cost more money. What?
Yeah, I do agree. There's an argument to be made that they're trying to fight for the consumer for lower prices and stuff like that. However, I do agree that they do seem to just not appreciate the fact of just like stuff costs more than it used to. Like, there are certain things where you can say, no, that's a blatant cash grab, and you can make a decent argument for that. But so often, this is BIOS reset again because the battery was out. But yeah, there are also lots of instances where it's a case of, yeah, it costs more because this is 2024 and stuff costs more.
Yeah.
And it's not a question of, is this more expensive than it used to be? It's a question of, is this offering good value considering its position in the market?
Yeah.
But yeah, I do still value Gamers Nexus for their testing. Although some of their tests are a bit like, I get that you're trying to find the most objective test possible, but the metrics you're using don't translate to something that I can understand easily. They're good for comparison, I guess, when you're, for A/B comparison. But like when you start talking about performance per watt, for example, I'm like, okay, well that's good for an A/B comparison, but if you say just a performance per watt on its own, that doesn't tell me. It's like, okay, but does it use a lot of power or not? But yeah, I guess it's complicated. Yes, I left a screw out. I'm not sure where that one came from. Get off my case. If you've used up all of the screws, then you did it wrong. So yeah. However, as I say, I wouldn't say that I dislike Gamers Nexus or anything. And I still think, like, if I want to find out how fast a CPU is or how fast a graphics card is, I go to the Gamers Nexus review. However,
it's just a case of basically I've stopped getting involved in anything other than the charts.
Yeah, and I do find that Steve's, and this has been my opinion for a long time. Whenever we've had a conversation about Gamers Nexus and I've had a sense of unease about them, it's the same thing where just their opinion pieces are difficult to consume. It's difficult to understand what the takeaway is from their reviews, but their testing and stuff, if you want to find out how fast a graphics card is compared to another graphics card, the Gamers Nexus reviews are going to answer that question. Because you can jump through the graphs and be like, okay, it trades blows with this. And then you can look up the price for those two items and then derive from that whether you think it's good bang for buck or not. This has started and works. So is the battery charged? I can't tell. I'm just going to see if I've got a PIN number for this laptop.
Yeah.
I do not, because I wasn't expecting it to turn on. You can tell when I didn't think I was going to get a fix out of a laptop because I didn't bother getting the password from the customer.
Man, imagine not just having a SOP. Honestly.
Yeah, I'm giving this a bit of a flex.
That's quite a lot of flex.
I know, I'm a bit scared doing that actually, you know.
Good heavens.
But yeah. Yeah, it's not crashing. The screen works. The touch screen works. I think this customer's had a very lucky escape.
Yeah.
Like the physical damage on this laptop, you know, those corners are really banged up. This looks like this has had a hard fall.
Yeah.
You know, this looks like this had a proper, oh my God, like a proper from your arms to a solid floor fall. That's what this looks like it's had. And it looks like it's actually got off scot-free. It just had a concussion, which has been fixed by resetting the BIOS.
It's been fixed by removing its brain.
Yeah.
You are no longer concussed.
Yeah.
You're also brain dead, but...
Right, yeah, the battery is flat, so it needs charging up. But it looks like it's fine.
Yeah.
I will call the customer on Tuesday. I'll get the password from them and we'll give it a service. And if it gets through service without crashing or showing any other signs of distress, then I think they're fine, basically. That's a very good result. I fully, based on the fact that this thing seemed brain dead when it came in, I was fully expecting that to be a no fix. I was like, oh, it's going to have cracked solder joints under the CPU or some nonsense.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a horrible rabbit hole. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Flex the board, ultimate test. Yeah, I gave it a bit of a wiggle. A bit of a wiggle.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Customer needs to go buy a lottery ticket.
Apparently so, yeah.
Go quite that far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The power connector looks a bit crooked. Yeah, it's because that corner is broken off. We're still on bench cam, yeah. Can you just bring up OBS just so I have a live feed?
I honestly thought that was OBS out the corner of my eye.
Yeah. So the power connector does have some wiggle on it just because the port does float in the laptop, so there's a bit of give on it, and that's a good thing because it just means that because there's a little bit of give and it's not rigid, you're not constantly just stressing the connector with a little bit of movement on the thing. But it's not going to fall out. So, you know, if the customer wants to, like if the customer said, oh, can you fix up the plastics, then I could quote them for replacing the plastics, but that's not going to be worth it. And like considering the screen isn't cracked, if I were the customer, I would just go like, you know, I would take it and go. Basically, I think that's a very lucky customer. I've put the RAM upgrade in it because it had 4 gigs of RAM. 4 gigs of RAM is not viable. So like I'll run that past the customer. I'll say, you know, look, this thing's kind of slow because it's only got 4 gigs of RAM in it. Do you want a RAM upgrade? It will cost this much. They're going to say yes, which is why I've put the RAM in and put the screws in. However, if they say no, I will take it back out again. But they're going to say yes. So yeah, we'll give it a service and that'll go back out the door.
Especially for like £8 sort of thing.
How's the hard drive doing?
It looks like it's about halfway through.
Yeah, how much were we copying? How much data have we got? Oh, there's still 500 gigs to go. Yeah, there's quite a lot there.
I think it was 2.5 terabytes, 2.7 terabytes.
Yeah, there's a lot of junk on these drives that we're copying. That's just stuff, basically. Just
look at all these billions of ISOs.
Look at all these games that you've said, hey, play this on stream that I haven't played. You know.
Hey, have you considered playing The Outer Wilds?
All the DLC for The Outer Wilds. The Outer Wilds 1, 2, and 3. You know?
Here's The Outer Wilds. Have you considered playing that?
I'll think about it, yeah. But yes.
Oh, look, here's that one game you said that one time.
Right. What is the vinegar syndrome? That's a good question. Japan is an unusual PC goldmine. However, be careful of vinegar syndrome. Yeah, what is that? Don't know. Why don't you clone the drive? It would be faster. No, it wouldn't. It's like 2 terabytes is 2 terabytes. It doesn't matter whether you clone it or you copy it. Oh, well, okay, I tell you what. If you have lots of small files, then yes, you're right, cloning would be faster. because you would get up to sequential speeds because you're just doing a bit for bit copy. So no, you're correct. Cloning can be faster. However, in this case, this volume of data is mostly large files. Like apart from a couple of dips here and there, like it's in a dip at the moment, but for the most part, it's been holding about 150 megs per second. So yeah, you are correct. Actually, cloning can be faster, but usually only when you have an awful lot of tiny, stupid files. So yeah. Capacitors. So is that as in old PCs from Japan often have bad capacitors in them that have leaked everywhere? Is that what you're talking about? So yeah. What do you think of the Dell Precision line of laptops? I've not seen a Precision for years.
Last I was aware, the Precisions were Latitudes with Quadros.
Yeah, basically, yeah. They're workstation laptops.
That's the last thing I remember for that.
So, like, I believe they're good laptops, but also they're fairly niche because, again, they're enterprise workstation laptops, usually equipped with Quadros and stuff like that, which means that they are very expensive, but they're designed for people who need to use AutoCAD on the go and such like, which means most consumers aren't interested in them. So it's not a series of laptop that a consumer repair shop like me encounters very often. So yeah, I don't have any strong opinions because I haven't seen one in years. Basically, I've no idea.
I've not seen one in a while.
I assume they still make them because I assume that there's still a market for that.
I think so.
Yeah. Hit the Dell website. Can you? What's the modern Precision look like?
Be gone. Dell UK. Oh, fine. Laptops.
So, it's not on the product line.
Interesting.
I mean, try just Google searching Dell Precision. Precision mobile workstations. Yeah, it's there. It's just a bit hidden on the website. Starting at 970 quid. What do you get for 970 quid's worth of Precision? Oh, they make them in up to 17-inch, which is just straight away interesting because there's not many 17-inch laptops around.
There you go. A £970 Precision gets you an i7
Intel integrated graphics.
and Intel integrated graphics.
Oh my days. What's that CPU? A 1360p? What the hell is a 1360p?
The 13th gen laptop processors.
Fair enough, yeah. 16 gigs of RAM, 512 gigs. I mean, at 970 quid for a business class laptop, okay, that's not... It's a bit steep, but
Very interesting. You can choose to have it with Linux on it.
Yeah, it's a bit steep, but it's not atrocious.
Oh, I misread that entirely. Temporal noise reduction camera. Okay.
Yeah. Standard backlit keyboard as well, so it's got the usual perks of a premium laptop.
You can add smart card readers as expected.
Yeah. 130 watt Type-C power delivery. Yeah. So they do exist. What's a mid-range one look like that's got graphics in? What kind of graphics cards have they got available in them? Integrated RTX A500. There you go. For 1,100 quid. Yeah. So for not much extra, you start getting into the serious ones. The 15-inch has got A500 mobile graphics in, and the price that makes a lot more sense. A couple of hundred quid extra for A500. That's suddenly a lot more bang for buck.
A1000 for 1,400 quid.
Yeah. So yeah. Oh, there you go. So they do exist, and yes, they still have Quadro graphics. Is the Quadro branding still alive?
No.
Yeah. Okay. So Quadro doesn't exist, but the RTX A series is the successor to the Quadro line.
Oh, you can get a 14-inch with an A1000 in it.
Oh, that's fun. 1920 by 1200, 16 by 10 display.
Yeah. Or a 16 by 9, 15.6.
Yeah. That's kind of interesting that they have 16 by 10 displays. You know, if you're a 16 by 10 purist, then that is an option. Although they go up to eye-watering prices, but you know.
Would you like an i9 13950HX and an RTX 3500 Ada generation for £3,600 in round figures?
But with 32 gigs of RAM and a 1 terabyte SSD, you know. Interesting. There you go. So yes, precision does still exist. Can you split screen with the chat? Need to see what the people are talking about.
I can put it in RAID 0. RAID 0, the SSDs.
No, do not. Oh, Pianov says, bunch of Precision 5000s are like XPS and have bad thermal design. Oh, that's a shame. And Pianov says, I got a Precision 5530 at work and it's not great from that perspective. That's unfortunate because like these are workstation laptops. They don't need to be slick. And like the old Precision M series, they were bricks. They were massive chonky things because they were like, yeah, this thing ain't supposed to be pretty. It's a workhorse, you know. So that's unfortunate they've abandoned the workhorse stuff.
There we go.
You can buy one for 4,800. Very nice. I see.
But think of the reward points. But yes, it comes with a 240 watt power adapter. I'm like, yes, good. Also, just like, I like the fact that you can buy like special energy saving certified editions and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'd imagine there's a lot of smoke and mirrors involved there, but I'm not going to read into that. So yeah, good. Right. In short speak, vinegar syndrome is a phenomenon that makes the polarizer layer in old LCDs rot away with a smell like vinegar. Oh, I see. It's fixable and not detrimental to the panel. Huh. Understandable. Have a nice day. Do not breathe in the fumes. Very well. It's acidic and contagious.
Corrosive?
Maybe. Anyway, fair enough. Yeah.
I think some editions of the Precision are probably reasonably good.
Yeah, there's going to be good ones and bad ones in there, just because obviously the Dell website is a maze, and there are some configs there where you're like, who would buy this?
Yeah.
And then there are some configs where it's just like, yeah, well, that's the one you get. That one's, obviously. But yeah.
Yeah. I liked, I was going through the Dell website trying to find monitors the other day, and there were 2 or 3 monitors that I know exist, but you cannot navigate to on the UK or Euro Dell website. You have to navigate to them by going to the US Dell website, but selecting UK as your purchasing location. So you go to US Dell /UK product, and it's like,
I see.
Or I could go to the UK website and buy it, surely? But no.
Very well. Okay, right. I think I've enjoyed this conversation in English.
Maybe.
Why? Do you have something to add?
No, it was more just a case of, you think you've enjoyed it?
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. We've had a couple of wins, a couple of loses, a couple of progresses.
You've had success.
Yeah.
All you need to do now is update your tickets so you can tell the correct people the correct things.
Yeah.
I'm terribly sorry your laptop needs a new firmware. Your keyboard is fixed. I unplugged the battery. Wait.
I sold 2 Dell Optiplexes this week, and the customers, I was constantly like, every time they called up, I was like, make sure you refer to the correct ticket, because they're both getting the same computer. And I was like, check the serial. Yes, I'm talking to the right customer. And then the customer would be like, did you get the data off of my hard drive? And I'm like, hard drive? Checking. No, sir, you did have an SSD. Yep, no, I am talking about the right one. You did have an SSD. It was not a hard drive. And yes, we got the data. So anyway, right.
What happened to Email Lady?
Email Lady.
Upgrade to Windows 10 that was already on Windows 10.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no.
Did you sell them an Optiplex?
No, because the computer was fine.
Sure.
Well, I said to her, I did say to her that the computer was end of life, you know, so as in it's running, but you should think about replacing this in the next 12 months, you know. And she was like, you know. So, yeah, again, when she brought it in, she was not really wanting to upgrade. However, I told her that she needs to start thinking about it, and she took that on board. However, yeah, when she came in, I said to her, we're going to leave this set up in the shop, so when you come in, we can both look at it together and both just... Because she was like, oh, I'm fairly certain it was saying it was Windows 7. And I'm like, okay, well, I tell you what, I'm going to leave it set up, and then when you come in, we'll both look at it together, just so we can both look at it and agree that we're seeing the same thing on the screen kind of thing. And, you know, came in, turned it on, she was like, yeah, that's what it normally looks like. And I'm like, that's Windows 10. And she was like, oh, okay then, you know. So, yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, so there was a bit of miscommunication there, possibly, but yeah, she was happy with that, and we discussed about the email issue, and I said, it might fill up, see how you go, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So that one seems to be fine.
Very well.
So, yeah.
Excellent.
All right, past that. Thank you very much for tuning in. This one went a bit better, I think. So long as I've still got some bits to fiddle with, I think we'll keep doing these, because I think we're getting into a groove here.
Yes.
So yes, unless we have anything else that we specifically want to do, we'll just carry on dicking around with some repairs on stream. And I think they're going to be like low effort stuff, where it's just like the ones where I'm just like, I can't be asked to do this. Okay, we'll do it on stream. Mm-hmm. It seems like a good a time as any to be doing it. Right, thank you everyone for tuning in. One last look at chat, because here we go, just to see if there's any last things.
There you go.
Oh, fine. Cowdog's like, no chat, we're ending. We don't get... Bye, everyone.